Dun dun dun. All right, let's turn off the music. Let us turn on the webcam and the monitor and all that good stuff. And hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining the stream. Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining on this Sunday. I'm just going to quickly post on Twitter and then broadcast the stream on M2G Goldfish, and then we'll get started. Featuring some new so that, and then add the link is probably good so people know where we're at. Do. Then broadcast. Yeah, we'll say 2 hours. Probably gonna take 2 hours. So I'll broadcast that, and then voila. Hopefully, see how that goes. Yep, nailed it. Perfect. Awesome. All right, chat. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, and happy Easter to all my Christian friends. Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Just catching up on chat very quickly. Hello, Henry. Hello, B702. Yo. Andrew, you're actually going to get to choose which one you want. I put some options. I also asked on Twitter and also on the YouTube community tab what people like to see. And I added some options, and then I added I added one particular option as well for my own sake. Hello. If you can see chat, what do you think of the new support for Toshiro Umezawa? I'm very excited for Toshiro Umezawa. It's one of my favorite decks. I own a paper version of Toshiro. You could actually see the full paper list. Slightly outdated as a deck tour, also on this YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it, and there's a lot of really sweet cards to be interested about. Should brew a Selenia deck that wins? Oh, that stings because oh man, the deck actually probably could have won every single game it played had I just played correctly. Like, it wasn't even hard lines. It was like, instead of playing X, you just play Y, and it's in your hand. It's not like a convoluted step. I just missed it every single time. I don't know. Kind of feels bad, but it's not a problem with the deck though. The deck was actually really sweet. Seems a little premature considering we don't know the support cards printed in the new decks will be. We don't, do we? Pre-stream music is nice. Anyone know what it's called for having a link? It is Distant by LAKEY Inspired. I might not. I'll add it into the video description real quick. LAKEY Inspired. All right, I've added it. Okay. Hello. Catching up on chat still. Summer doesn't brew decks and win. They win if I give them to somebody else to play, is the thing. Does America have daylight savings? Yes. Unfortunately, yes. Hey, Alex. Hello, Tim. Did we just go live? Yes, Rex. Hello, Andrew. Thanks for the early stream. No problem, CMO. I think this is going to be the usual time slot for Sundays. I think people enjoy that a little bit earlier on Sundays. Hey, Alex. Lots of sweet commanders to choose from. I'm not sure which I'll vote just yet. Well, I'll try to do a sales pitch for every single one. Thoughts on him for Changeling Tribal? Hofri? I'm not sure. I think Hofri's good, but I don't know. I think it's more... I think it depends on a tribal deck you want to build. Like, if you go a tribal sacrifice, I think he's really, really good in a sacrifice shell, which you could definitely do. Like, you just lean in more on the tribes that care about sacrifice, like clerics and stuff. Have we decided what commander we're building yet? No. This is actually the fun part about this stream concept is you get to choose which commander you want to build. I just do a sales pitch first, and then I will post a poll, and then you decide which option you want to build around, and we go from there. So yeah. We're gonna use straw poll this time, one last time. It is a bit laggy, so I did notice that it takes a while for it to register everybody's votes. So in the future, I'll try to find a alternative for straw poll, but we're gonna use it one last time for now. Tomer, could we be brew Shirei today? Not a new commander. It's been quite hard for me to brew him. For today, we're going to only have these options, but every single week I throw in all new options, or at least mostly new options. I think I put Gen twice. But I could throw in Shirei as a feature option. Hey, Tomer, what direction would you make a Brina deck? I'm indecisive in mine. I don't know what Brina is. Off the top of my head. Let's see what it is. Brina. Oh, okay. The new Strixhaven one. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents, that attacking player draws a card, and you put 2+1/+1 counters on the creature. I swear they're just getting clunkier and clunkier if they're writing, huh? I think this is like Fair Timna, right? Or kind of like an Edric. This is like Orzhov Edric, essentially. So I would build it kind of like that. I would maybe run some ways to lower your own life total, and then have a couple evasive creatures at all times. So I would kind of build it like that. Build it like use the black sources to lower your life total. Black like life, gain life, or black draw cards, lose life type cards, so lower your life total. And then draw cards off this. And it could be really sweet. And you're also encouraging your opponents to attack each other too, for value. So I can see it like that. Hope it's Killian. There's one artifact changeling. What do people think about sneak attack and Hofri? I think it'd be good. Hello, Astrum. Killian Ink Duelist. Hello, I just got off work. I had a good weekend until that betrayal. I think Krim just did not remember that agreement we had. So no, not too much hate for that. No Zephi Thunder Conductor. Unfortunately, there's just a lot of Strixhaven commanders. So expect a lot more Strixhaven options going forward in the next couple weeks. But I want to put at least one older commander option, and then some newer ones, and then we'll go from there. Which deck is the most anti-crim? Killian, please. A lot of Killians. Wow. Okay. Tomer, do you watch anime? I don't know what anime is. Drinking didn't help you with Selenia. That's your excuse. Yeah, I have plenty of excuses. I've seen the deck tour. It was quite fun. Paper version, albeit not as expensive and weaker. Yeah, I mean the Shiro deck that I built was initially just I think it was $50 list that I initially did in my primer. I wrote a primer for it too, which you could also check out if you like typing like budget Toshiro MTG Goldfish, you'll find it. Um, and there were sample deck lists like $50, $100, or like $200, something like that. And obviously, like price inflation always raises the prices of these things over time, unfortunately. But yeah, my deck was also a $50 deck initially, and then I just threw in some cards that I had in my binder or whatever, and I've been slowly upgrading it ever since. Pop, pop, pop. Are you planning to do a budget deck tech for Killian? I was gutted when we was Orzhov, so I couldn't get into my Toshiro, but Toshiro almost definitely goes into Killian. I agree with that. I think there's a lot of hype in this chat for Killian, so it is an option here. So if people are interested, we could brew Killian together today. Not all states in America have daylight savings. Oh, I did not know that, Chaotic. Hello, Encalisor. How's it going? Hey, Sam. On your checklist, Tomer, coming from a non-commander background, 50 mana sources seems a lot. Well, keep in mind that when I say 50 mana sources, I mean both lands and ramp. But it works out to, I think, for like a 60 card format, that's like essentially, I think that's essentially like, well, I mean, it is half your deck. So that would be 30 mana per 60 card deck. So that's pretty easy. But the lane count is like 24 or so. I think that's the equivalent. And I honestly, coming from a single player, a 1 versus 1 format to commander, it's just a little bit different in terms of your deck building priorities. Like, card draw is far more important in any commander deck in multiplayer, just because you have to keep up with a table that, is going to draw way more cards than you if you don't do that. It's just different priorities. So I think this is correct. This has served me well for many years, and I've been tweaking it for many years. Any Strixhaven commanders that have really caught your eye? I mean, I put some of them already here, so you could say these ones caught my eye. But there's a lot. There's a lot of really good ones. Hope Native American Reservation doesn't have. Native American Reservation does not have daylight savings, but it is inside the Navajo Reservation, which does, but that is inside Arizona. That is some confusing layering. I'm excited to try out Janky Dragon's approach. Sweet. I have a question for you. Does Wizard of the Coast send you the deck list for the commander decks early, or do you have to wait till the day of? So if we get previews. So the way it works is if a content creator gets a preview, they get that preview card in advance. Usually like 2 weeks in advance or so. So when we get preview cards, we have access to them. Or if we had hypothetically a full precon to reveal, then we would have access to the entire precon deck list. Yes, but if we're not previewing a precon or whatever, we don't get access to it. And I'm only speaking for MTG Goldfish, or like myself rather. I don't know what the case is for other content creators, but I can tell you that we don't see any cards in advance unless we're previewing them or the product. What if I already know my vote? I mean, I'm going to give you my sales pitch anyway, and hopefully that will give a more well-rounded, informed decision. What do you think of Mila Luka as a commander? It's fine, Matthew. I personally am not that keen on it. I don't know. I feel like both sides are kind of okay. Mila being unable to be in mono white is hilarious. I don't even think Mila's that good. I don't know. It's fine. I still want to see a Gen deck. Makes me sad no one votes for it. Gen was still close. I put Gen up for two Backseat brews already, so I want to make some more room for some of the newer commanders, because that's where the hype is right now. Strixhaven's just about to come out. Orzhov makes Edric equivalent very different. Yes, but I think it's similar principles, but the card selection is going to be very different, so it's going to play out a little bit different, but the idea is still the same. You can still build Mila as mono white super friend. Yes, you can. Just because it has access to red doesn't mean you need to add red to it. Brina as Monarch and Will of the Council deck. That could be fun. Orzhov Advocates immediately comes to mind. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of cool political cards you can run with Brina. Nine isn't clear. Yeah. It doesn't check your life total. Oh, it doesn't check our life total. Oh, okay. So that makes it a little bit easier. Which commander are you most excited for from Strixhaven? Honestly, I don't know yet. Also, I don't want to throw out my biases before we select a commander, because I want people to choose what they like, and I don't want to tell you this X is my favorite one, and then everybody will feel like obligated to choose it or whatever. But I mean, well, we could talk about that afterwards. Oh my. I don't know how streamers get through all the chat. I don't know. Maybe I have to be shorter. I don't know. Have you considered doing a YouTube poll like a day before the stream and then checking that when the stream starts? I have Chaotic, but the problem is, or at least that I've noticed, not everybody who votes are necessarily the same people who show up for stream. And I found that disconnect the most with like Twitter polls. Like when I posted stuff on Twitter, like what are you most excited for, X, Y, or Z, the people who vote on Twitter aren't necessarily the same people who are actually watching the content. So what I want to do is, it would be a little bit easier, it would be shorter to have the results already and then go into the Backseat Brewing, just brewing that one commander once we already have the decision. But first of all, I want to reward people for showing up to stream. This is like, thank you for showing up on stream. Now you get to choose. You have the power to choose what we talk about. So that's number one. And number two is, I wanted to also give my sales pitch for all these commanders. So people probably already have their favorite already in mind, but at the very least, I wanted to give a little bit of background information on why I think each one is cool, and maybe that will change people's minds, or maybe they'll at least have a more informed opinion of each one going forward. Because I feel like sometimes there's cool commanders that people just don't even realize it's cool because, at first glance, it doesn't really look cool. I think Niambi is a really good example of it. Nobody in their right mind was choosing Niambi for anything. But I think I gave a very good reason on why I think Niambi is really cool. And I think more people ended up choosing her. At least some people ended up choosing her because I gave an impassioned speech on her. But yeah, I think a lot of people sleep on Niambi, and I think she's just such a cool commander. But I think it's harder to just look at the card and be like, oh wow, this is a great card. You need some good examples behind it. Where do we vote? We're going to be voting soon. I'm going to add the straw poll soon. I just want to give my whole spiel beforehand. Also, we're kind of the first couple of minutes are just kind of like, talking to you all and letting people catch into the stream and whatnot, and then I'll post the poll and whatnot. I've got a friend who's running Brina as a Voltron commander for the first week. It's been very effective. Oh, that's cool. How Jane is Lorehold Boros Spellslingers. How Jane is Lorehold Boros Spellslingers would be? Okay. Oh, Jank. Okay, that makes it. I think Boros Spellslingers would be really good with also the Elder Dragon. Extus looks really cool. Not knowing what anime is. I don't know what anime is. Oh my, summer stream. Hello. Dusu? I'm sorry if I got it wrong. Will you put up pictures of the choices when we get started? Yes, we're gonna go over each one. Also, if you want to follow along with this little sheet, in the video description you can find a link to this Google sheet, so you can look at it yourself, and then you can click on these links and such. Happiest whenever a new set comes out and the commanders I want to build most are the uncommons. Yes, First Enchanter. I love that too. I think they're really good about that these days. Runic Armisar worthwhile in any green deck, or is it conditional inclusion? I've been hit or miss on Runic Armisar. It's really dependent on your opponents, right? Like sometimes it will draw you 0 cards, sometimes it will draw you a bunch of cards. It's just really dependent. I think if you have synergies with Runic Armor, sorry, if you're a dinosaur deck, for example, it's fantastic. If you're a creature heavy deck and you can easily tutor it up whenever you need it, then it's fantastic. But is it like better than Harmonize in a generic deck? Probably not. I found the card almost always good. Yeah. Don't hate Super Friends. Could you zoom in on your text a bit? Of course. Of course. There. Hopefully that's better. 50 mana sources means you've got a 40% chance of drawing dead cards late game. I disagree. I think this has always served me very well. The main reason is you don't want to be missing land drops for like the first like 7 or so turns. And you really, like, once you have a lot of early, like, you're guaranteed early ramp and everything, you want to hit that into card draw. And then if you have extra ramp cards sitting in your hand, I mean, you could discard down to hand size and you could get rid of the extras. But, like, I've honestly, I've been playing building commander decks at least one every single week for, like, the past 5 years. And I've been using this checklist to do it. And in the past 5 years, this 50 mana count has been serving me very well. So, for what it's worth, I have been playing with the checklist for a very long time, and these are the numbers that have worked well for me. Fun overall. How many copies of Mind Dilation? Very sweet. 30 seems high to me as well, but it works for your decks. I honestly, like, you look at 50 lands, but, like, is 37 lands too much for lanes? I don't think so. I think 37 is definitely a correct number. Is 13 ramp too much? Again, I think this is also a good number. I think people look at 50 mana and they're like, oh wow, that's a lot. But, like, it's lands in your ramp, right? It's both of these things. And I don't think either 37 lands or 13 ramp, when they're separate entities, separate checklists, are very scary. Like, literally, if it helps, I could just write it like this: 37 lands, and then we'll do 13 ramp. And I think, in brain-wise, I think it's going to make it a lot easier for people to grok. So we'll just leave it at that. I think people are looking at 50 mana and they're like, oh no. But it's really this. It's really this. 37 lanes, 13 ramp. Hi, Tomer. Question for you as EDH expert. Ooh, I'm an expert. Can I run eggs in my Karn Silver Golem deck? I think so. Oh, wait. Oh. Karn Silver Golem, like, have that as your commander and then run eggs. If they have... So, if a card has in its card text mana symbols, then those colors count towards the deck's color identity. Karn is a colorless commander, so you can only run colorless cards. So if a colorless card has colored mana symbols in its card text, you cannot run it. So I think Mossfire Egg would not be available. I don't remember the card off the top of my head. Who wants to see my shirtless men EDH deck? I mean, you can look at it if you like. Heartwood Storyteller needs to be creature heavy. Yep. Evil or Extus. Yep. How do you feel about Blex? Could be sweet. Is Dina any good, you think? I don't know. Hey, smug looking barrel. All right, I've given up on catching up on all comments, because then that would just be the stream. We're almost 30 minutes in, so I think it's time to get started, friends. All right, so the concept that we have on Sundays going forward, this is our weekly Backseat Brewing. The idea is that I'm going to pitch you a bunch of different commander options. Then I will post a poll. You get to choose which of these commanders you want to see brewed live right now, and then we're going to work together to brew it. And yeah, it's super fun. The deck lists that have come out of these have always been great, and generally speaking, after we brew it, I usually take the deck onto stream. So obviously, if you pick a Strixhaven commander, I won't be able to showcase it this week, but As soon as Strixhaven is available online, then the following Wednesday I will run the deck that we built together on stream, so you can see the end result actually play tested and everything. So we have more options than usual. Usually I just do 4. I've added 5 because there's a lot of Strixhaven commanders that I wanted to brew around, and I wanted to give people more options and everything. We will rotate the list though every single week. So don't worry if you didn't see the commander that you like right now. I will probably get around to adding it as a poll option in the future. So we're gonna go through every single commander. So we're gonna go through every single commander option here. I'm going to give you a very quick pitch on why I think the commander is cool, because I think all of these are really cool. So I'm going to give you just like a rough idea of what I expect the deck to be doing. And then afterwards, after we go through every single option, I will throw in a poll. We get to do a poll on it. I give it a 10-minute limit. So after 10 minutes, we choose an option, and then we'll get straight to brewing it based on the deck list, checklist, and all that stuff. So we're starting off with Hamza. Does this work? It did work. Yeah. All right, Hamza. Hamza is one of the coolest uncommon legendaries from... No, I want to say it's just one of the coolest legendaries from Commander Legends, I will say. This is a 6-mana Selesnya 5/5, which sounds like a lot, right? But it has some insane ramp potential. The spell itself costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control with +1/+1 counter on it. So, first of all, you can usually just cast it for green-white pretty consistently. So that's already really cool. And creature spells cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. So the idea is you basically flood the board with tokens, and you merge that token idea. Go wide. It's go wide with tokens. So you try to flood the board with tokens as efficiently as possible. Then you add +1/+1 counters on all your little creatures. And I want to Ridge. I think it's like Ridge or something like that. There's where's the Kaladesh, dude? There it is. Ridge Scale Tusker. You have cards like Ridge Scale Tusker, where when it enters the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. There's also like a loyal, there's a, what's it called? It's a Loyal Guardian. At the beginning of a combat on each turn, if you control a commander, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So you go wide, you flood the table with tokens, you put counters on all of them, and then suddenly Hamza is able to just be this enormous ramp engine, basically. Your creature spells cost 1 less to cast, so you can do, there's a lot of really expensive creatures out there that have colorless mana that you can basically just cast for free. So there's obviously like Eldrazi, right? Like, casting Kozilek Butcher of Truth for 0 mana is pretty good, I hear. There's also stuff you can do, kind of like the Animar approach. You can do stuff like Ancestral Statue. You can cast Ancestral Statue for free. It'll enter the battlefield, then you return a non-land permanent you control to itself. You just bounce it back to your hands over and over again. And that's like infinite enter the battlefield, leave the battlefield triggers as well. I forget the way you win the game off that in Hamza, but I'm sure there has to be something pretty decent where you're constantly casting Ancestral Statue a billion times. I'm sure there has to be something there. I'm just blanking. Fellow Die Retreat's also really, really good. So you could go kind of stormy with this. Good gods, Kozilek is very expensive. Yeah, we wouldn't be using Kozilek for this, but we don't really need it. So there's at least some ancestral statue lines for sure. So that's basically the idea behind Hamza. Is it's a go wide tokens deck that you use Hamza to ramp out some huge colorless win conditions. So yeah, there's some really cool things here, and it's an uncommon, and the deck is pretty darn cheap. I was also reminded about it fairly recently because somebody was running it on a past stream. So there's that too. Yeah. I don't know if this is a deck list. Was this a deck list? It looks like the deck list. I don't know what their ancestral statue line was. Oh, they do have stuff like Stormfront runners. So you could just make infinite Stormfront riders. So if you're doing the ancestral recall loop, whenever another creature is returned to your hand from the battlefield, you make 1/1 white soldier token. So you can make infinite soldiers that way. So there's all cool things you could do. You could do a bunch of really sweet things with Hamza. So that's Hamza. Selesnya +1/+1 counters. Then I figured it would be fun to showcase two options for Orzhov Auras, because Orzhov Auras is something that people have been asking me to do quite a bunch in the past. There's a lot of Daxos stands in it. And Daxos the Return is one of the options for Orzhov Auras that I very much like. And I never got around to building it. I did a pre-con upgrade when Daxos the Return came out in 2015, which is 6 years ago. Oh my goodness. But I never actually did a budget commander on Daxos before. Daxos the Return, really powerful commander. Basically, whenever you cast an enchantment, you're fueling this other ability. You get an experience counter. Experience counters are there forever. You never lose experience counters. They're on you forever. So you will get an experience counter for the rest of the game, essentially. Then you can use this activated ability to create a white and black spirit enchantment creature token that has this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of experience counters you have. So Daxos is like this kind of like super resilient late game threat where he's just constantly pumping out enchantments over and over again. You have a bunch of experience counters, so even if Daxos dies, you can recast him and you can just keep pumping out those spirit tokens. Also, they're enchantments, right? They're enchantments, so they're not just tokens that are big beaters. They actually have triggers with like other enchantments, like constellation effects. I forget the name of it. I think it's Archon of Sun's Grace. There it is. Constellation triggers, like whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. So every single time you activate Daxos, you're also going to be getting a 2/2 white Pegasus creature with Archon and all that stuff like that. So there's a lot of power to Daxos the Return, and he's also very budget friendly. So he's very like controlling and resilient. I think those are the two main sticking points on Daxos the Return as your commander. Very controlling, very resilient. Those are two things that he definitely excels at. Now we have a new option too to run also Orzhov Auras, and that's Killian Ink Duelist. This is the one that it seems like chat is very much on board on. Killian Ink Duelist is a 2-mana commander, so it's very cheap. Daxos the Return is 3, which is already very cheap. Killian's even cheaper than that. Has 2 powerful keywords, Lifelink and Menace. This is on a 2/2, so this is already a pretty decent body. And then spells you cast to target a creature cost 2 less to cast. And this is why I also pegged it as an aura deck, because auras are all targeting mostly, they can target any permanent, but they mostly target creatures. So you can use Killian's ability to build an aura deck, specifically an aura Voltron deck. Lifelink and Menace means it's really good to suit him up with enchantments and go for that Voltron damage, because it's hard for opponents to chump block him effectively due to Menace. And Lifelink means the greater he's hitting for, the more he's hitting for, the more life you're going to be gaining off that. So there's little sub-themes you can build off that as well. You can build like a Lifelink sub-theme to it as well, because Killian's going to be getting a lot of life gain value out of it. And yeah, you don't necessarily also need to build him as an aura deck. You can just focus on any sort of removal abilities, any spell like E to Extinction, for example. I think that's the one. Yeah, E to Extinction. this 4 mana targeted removal spell is now going to be 2 mana if it targets a creature. Not when it targets a planeswalker, but if it targets a creature, it can be cast for 2 mana. So that's incredibly effective too. So the way I would consider building Killian is I would build him definitely auras, not just removal.deck. The main downside to Killian though is twofold. First of all, if you go a Voltron strategy with him, then you're investing a lot into your commander, and when your commander dies, and your commander will die, you're going to lose a lot of things in the process. You're going to lose all the auras that you put on him. And why I say he's not good for a removal.deck. The thing with removal.deck is primarily you need a way to generate card advantage. It's not a removal.deck version of Killian. It's nice that you have a mana discount on your removal spells. It means you can kill things faster and more efficiently, but you're going to run out of card advantage. And that's like the main thing. That's the main downside of control decks. If you're not ahead in card advantage, then you're not going to be winning with a control deck. You need ways to get ahead on your opponents so you can one-for-one them efficiently. If you're just constantly one-for-oneing your opponents with Killian, you're going to run out of cards very, very quickly because you have 3 opponents to your 1. So you have to deal with their 3 times as many threats as you have targeted removal spells. So that's why Killian needs to be in a shell that generates a lot of card advantage. And one of the best ways of generating a lot of card advantage is with auras that cantrip, stuff like Mesa Enchantress and stuff like that. You need ways to keep your hand full, or else the biggest downside that I'm going to see people brewing Killian decks is they're going to often, I'm just calling this now, Killian's not even out yet, but the biggest downside is people are going to be building Killian without enough card advantage. So when Killian dies, you just like unload your hand full of these cheap, efficient, spells because his mana discount's so good. But you're going to run out of spells, and you're going to be empty-handed, and you're just going to lose. So you need to combine Killian with a way to constantly generate card advantage, so you can really take advantage of his insane mana discount. You need both. Please don't forget about Hateful. Oh yeah, I know. Auras are kind of my jam. Yeah, Hateful Alien is the best. Again, remember you have to focus on an archetype that will generate card advantage for Killian. Hateful Alien is in auras, right? So the idea between Daxos and the Return and Killian is essentially just who do you want as the commander. The 99 is going to be pretty much the same. If you go for, Hateful Eldion is a all-star in both Killian and Daxos the Return, depending on how you build it. So if Daxos Return, obviously you're running Hateful Eldion because you're going to be using enchantments to kill your opponent's creatures, because, why wouldn't you? Killian, if you built him Aura, which is the way that I would personally run him, you would also be running Hateful Eldion. It would be also one of your best cards. So the difference between Daxos the Return and Killian as your commander, one is more Voltron-y, one is more all-in. Daxos is more grindy, removal-y. So it really depends on what people are feeling. Eidolon. Yeah. That's what I said, right? You can use auras to kill your opponents. Yes, that is true. That is correct. This I know. It's also the exact same thing too of Daxos. So yes, this is one reason to run auras in the aura archetype in Orzhov. What do you feel about Dead Man's Chest and Killian? Very good. They're all good. Those are all auras. So that is the idea with Orzhov auras. If you want Voltron, we go Killian. If you want control, we go Daxos. Easy peasy. Decided on commander? No, we're almost there. So next up, we have Cody Vociferous? Vociferous? I don't. Why would they do this? All right.
Vociferous.
Vociferous. Okay, cool. A person, especially a person or speech, vehement or that doesn't help me. What does clamorous mean? Clamorous, making a loud and confused noise. So this is a very loud codex. Man, this is wild. This is wild. All right, so it's Cody. Cody is an interesting commander because it's one of the very few cards these days that comes with an immediate drawback. Generally speaking, you don't see cards printed these days, or many cards printed these days. You do see a couple, but you don't see many cards printed these days coming with like a significant drawback to them. I'm thinking about like Nikia and stuff like that, where you could see it. See them, but like it's very much like a thing in the past, generally speaking. So this is a 5 mana spell slinger deck, which is really cool. And it comes with a big downside. You can't cast permanent spells when Cody's on the battlefield. Obviously, you can cast permanent spells before Cody's on the battlefield. So your deck should have some permanent spells in them because they're going to be, some of them are very, very effective with Cody. But the idea is that you play Cody on the battlefield, put Cody on the battlefield, and then you're going to be casting a bunch of non-permanent spells, aka, generally speaking, instant or sorcery spells. Cody taps, you pay 4 mana and you tap it to generate 5 mana Wooburg. So you actually go up a mana, and when you cast your next spell this turn, you basically have to cascade. You exile cards from the top of your library until you exile an instant or sorcery with lesser mana value. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So this is essentially just cascade. You activate this ability, you go up 1 mana, you cast an instant or sorcery, and then you cascade into a lower cost instant or sorcery. Actually, you don't even need to cast an instant or sorcery. It's whenever you cast your next spell. So it could be anything. It just can't be a permanent. So whenever you cast your next non-permanent spell this turn, you cascade until you hit an instant or sorcery card of lesser value. So it's cascade with some twists there. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put each other card exiled this way on the bottom of your library in any order. So the cool thing with Cody is that it does some really busted things, but you can also play him pretty straight. Like, he is basically, like, Cody is basically, you could build it as like a 5-color spellslinger deck that is kind of fair, pretty fair. You only get to cascade a single time per turn. You're hitting an instant or sorcery spell of lesser value, and you're more restricted on how you can play the game because you can't cast permanent spells. So it's kind of like by itself, it is kind of like a more fair Golos. Exactly, Tristan. It's like a more fair Golos if you build it that way. However, there are some pretty busted things you can be doing. A lot of people quickly point out that whenever anything can cascade, right? There's some stuff you can cascade into that are going to be very busted, specifically the 0 cost, or basically spells that don't have mana cost. They can't be regularly cast from your hand. And they have a mana value of 0 essentially, but you just can't cast them outside of basically cascading into them. And cascading is the way that you break these type of cards. So first one is Hypergenesis. If you basically cast if you have no zero mana value instants or sorceries in your deck except for Hypergenesis, and you cast a spell that is one CMC, 1 mana value, you're always going to cascade into Hypergenesis and cast it. And something like Hypergenesis basically lets you dump your hand of each artifact, creature, enchantment, or land. So that's like a pretty insane way of just like dropping a solid win condition immediately from your hand. Generally speaking, that's like Thassa's Oracle. This is more of like a C88 strategy. There might be some jankier combos, so we can use Hypergenesis in a budget version, but generally speaking, this is not something we're going to be brewing with on this stream because we're going to keep it budget. There's also like Living Death, for example. Sorry, not Living Death, Living End. You can also go into Living End territory where basically you build Cody as like a cycling deck. You cycle through all these creatures, and then drop living ends. There's obvious, restore balance is another one. So there's a bunch of stuff you can do. You put Pemin's aura freed from the real to go infinite. I mean, if you have a way to put the permanent onto Cody, yes. Like if you're using Hypergenesis, you can put the aura onto Cody and then generate infinite mana that way. But you can't just like cast Cody and then cast the aura from your hand, because it's a permanent, so you can't actually do that. So you have to use like Hypergenesis or some way to put it onto the battlefield without casting it. The other really cool thing is you can use Cody's drawback as an advantage with stuff like Assault Suit. Where's Assault Suit? So what Assault Suit does, if you cast Assault Suit and then you cast Cody to get around his drawback, you can equip Cody with the Assault Suit, and then at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, they gain control of Cody. And while they have control of Cody, they can cast permanent spells. So if you're giving it to an opponent that is very permanent heavy and doesn't really have a lot of instants or sorceries to play with, you're going to be like heavily restricting what they can actually cast each turn. They can still use Cody's ability to some effect, but they can't cast permanents. And if permanents are a very powerful aspect of their deck, they're kind of screwed by that. Also, Fractured Identity, it's a $10 version of it, but it basically does the exact same thing. You cast Cody, you cast Fractured Identity on Cody, and then you give each person a copy of Cody so they can't cast their permanents. So there are things you can be doing with Cody that are very sweet, that kind of play around either his disadvantage or like combo off, but at the very least, you can build a very sweet Cascade tribal sort of like Spellslinger deck. So that's another option that we got here. Next up, we got a MDFC commander, one of the sweeter MDFC commanders, I would say. This is Extus Auric Overlord, and the backside is Awaken the Blood Avatar, which is a sorcery spell. So the front side, Extus Auric Overlord, is a pretty sweet creature. It has a double strike, and it has a very powerful Magecraft ability that basically whenever you're casting instants or sorceries, you can return non-legendary creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So this is kind of like an insane graveyard recursion engine. Obviously, to get the most value out of this sort of ability, you want to pair it with either self-mill, so you can fill your graveyard very quickly with creatures that you want to return back to your hand with Extus, which is kind of like a roundabout way of like, I don't know, like drawing cards / tutoring or whatever. Or you pair it with like a sacrifice style deck where you play a bunch of creatures, you sacrifice them, get them back with Extus, cast them, and then sacrifice them again. So Extus is constantly getting back the same creatures over and over again, so you're always getting maximum value out of it. The other side also is promoting a sacrifice theme. You, as an additional cost to cast a spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed this way. So each opponent sacrifices a creature. You create a 3/6 black and red avatar token with haste, and whenever this creature attacks, it deals 3 damage to each opponent. Interesting to note that this token that it makes with Awaken the Blood Avatar isn't a legendary. So you could potentially cast this spell multiple times, make multiple tokens, your opponent sacrifice multiple times, and then you have like this 3/6 immediate attacker that's dealing 6 damage each time it's swinging, which can be pretty sweet. So the idea behind this style of deck is Mardu Sacrifice. It's Mardu Sacrifice. You're going to try to reach a balance between having a bunch of creatures that want to be sacrificed and spells, because you want to be triggering Magecraft a decent amount of time. So I feel like this is mostly a Mardu Sacrifice deck. Yeah, Sorcery side feels like it's only exists if you're going infinite. Yeah, I'm sure there has to be some ways of going infinite with Awaken the Blood Avatar. I don't know any of the ways that you would do it, but I'm sure there's stuff there. So yeah, this is a pretty unique, flexible commander. It's Mardu Sacrifice, is what that one is. And the final one is Boros. This is Hofri Ghost Forge. Hofri Ghost Forge is an expensive commander. It's 5 mana for a 4/5 dwarf cleric. Spirits you control get +1/+1 and have trample and haste. So this is a nice little anthem effect. And the main reason why you want to run it is because of this powerful secondary ability. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you exile it. If you do, you create a token that's a copy of that creature, except as a spirit in addition to its other types, and has, when it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to your graveyard. This card is kind of insane. It's crazy amounts of really powerful recursion. Basically, like, if you sacrifice a creature, then you can sacrifice a token, and then you get the creature back. And it goes to the graveyard, and then you return it from the graveyard using some other weirdness. So it basically gives you a lot of extra value, basically from a sacrifice engine. So I assume Hofri is mostly a sacrifice deck, which gives you double the value out of basically all the things you sacrifice. You sacrifice one time, and then you make a spirit token of it, and then you get to sacrifice that token again, and then the creature goes to the graveyard, and then you can recur it, and then sacrifice it again, and do all these crazy things. It's a crazy value engine, and it's in Boros, which I think makes it pretty unique. So yeah, I assume there's going to be a lot of like enter the battlefield trigger creatures that you want, and you want to sacrifice outlets to make sure those creatures die and reuse it that way. So stuff like Karmic Guide and whatnot, or like Riverlark. I think Riverlark is probably going to be a slam dunk in here. Why not play spirits? I mean, we could also have a spirit sub theme. I'm going to look at cards that are spirits, but I think sacrifice is probably the way to go for that. Masquerade Nexus make everything spirits. I mean, I don't get too bamboozled by the +1/+1 trample and haste. These are two good anthems, but Hofri already turns all your creatures into spirits, right? He turns all your creatures into spirits. So you don't actually need to build a spirit tribal deck for you to get the value out of this. You just need to sacrifice your creatures. So I wouldn't get too hung up on the spirit tribal aspect of it. But, I mean, if you want to build spirit tribal, we can build spirit tribal, but you don't actually need to add spirits to your deck to get use out of his anthem ability. All right. If they die, but if playing spirits, you get double. I mean, you don't really get double value if you just want to sacrifice them anyway. But yeah, we could discuss it if it gets chosen. Make it tribal? Probably not. Because I've already done tribal. So I wouldn't want to do it tribal yet again. All right, so we went over the options. And now we're going to go over do a little straw poll. Straw poll time. Choose your commander. All right, so our options are Hamza go Y counters, wow, I can't type. This one, if we pick Orzhov Auras, by the way, we'll do another straw poll to figure it out. Which one you want as the commander. 5C Spellslinger plus combos plus shenanigans. Or 5C Spellslinger shenanigans, yeah. And Extus, Mardu Spellslinger. Or sorry, not Spellslinger, Mardu Sacrifice. There it is. And then Hofri is Boro's sacrifice. All right. So we're going to create that poll. We're going to share that poll. And we're going to give the poll to y'all. Have fun, y'all. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just going to click on show results. Now, keep in mind, we're going to keep this poll up for 10 minutes to give everybody a chance to vote on it. And also keep in mind that straw poll is laggy. So if you click on a option and it doesn't show up immediately, just keep in mind that straw poll is laggy, so you have to give it some time. I don't even know how much time. Straw poll just laggy sometimes. I don't know why. But just keep that in mind. We're gonna keep it up for 10 minutes. So if you put in your vote now, I'm sure it will be counted eventually. So we'll see. All right. So we're gonna give it 10 minutes. 10 minutes, chat. During that time, you may ask me whatever you want. 10-ish second lag for me. Yeah, that seems about it. It's lagging bad right now. We'll see. All right. For more dramatic tension, we're not even going to look at the poll while it happens. So you don't have to worry about your poll, your option being influenced by who's ahead or whatever. Time for 10 minutes of commercials. I'm not even running anything in the background, by the way. I'm not even running anything in the background. Cause yeah. How are you feeling today? I'm feeling good, Stuart. I've been working today because Strixhaven is crazy. Strixhaven preview season crazy. By the way, friends, you should be keeping a lookout on this YouTube channel and on MTG Goldfish in general, because not only do we have our regular stuff coming up this week, like tomorrow is Commander Clash Moment, for example, but we also have a special podcast where we're previewing something very, very sweet from Wizards of the Coast, and it's Strixhaven related. I believe that's going up Wednesday, but you can check the Wizards of the Coast timeline for previews, and you'll see when MTG Goldfish is going to be doing their previews. So I've done the editing for that, and it's going to be going up this week. Also, there are 5 precons with the Strixhaven set, Strixhaven Commander precons coming with the main set. And I'm going to be doing a precon upgrade for all of them. So expect 5 Commander precon upgrades going up this week, and maybe the last one's going up next week as well. And then there's also going to be the Commander review for Strixhaven as well. So you're gonna get a full written guide on all my favorite cards and where I think they're going to be played. And then after that, we also have me and Seth are doing a top 10 list of our favorite Strixhaven cards. So if you want any Strixhaven content for the next week or two, you're gonna get a ton of them. And then beyond that, I'm probably gonna do like 1 or 2 budget commanders on new Strixhaven stuff. And oh boy, so there's a whole lot of stuff to be happening next week that is pretty exciting. Favorite movie? I wouldn't know off the top of my head, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's just a lot of movies I like. Revenge of the Moonfolk eventually? Maybe, but I don't think there needs to be a Revenge of the Moonfolk because I already won with Moonfolk. So I feel like Moonfolk have retired. I've already won a Commander Clash with Moonfolk. Star Trek or Star Wars or neither or both? I think they're both fine. I like both franchises, and I like the Star Wars movies. I watched them. They were fine. And I like Star Trek as much as I've seen it, but like I'm not a diehard fan of either of them. Which of the Strixhaven Mastery cards are you most excited for? Are you talking about like the Masterpiece cards? I think the Japanese Demonic Tutor is the one that I want the most. But all of them look very sweet. in different ways. How's your day, Michael? My day's been okay. I'm just I haven't had really a weekend like time off yet because of Strixhaven stuff. So I'm looking forward to the end of Strixhaven previews. In 2 weeks' time, I will sleep for a very long time. Tomer, what is the whoop up whoop? Oh wow, I missed a bunch of stuff. All right. Tomer, what is your Strixhaven house? Oof, that is a tough choice. I think if I was a student in this universe, I would 100% be going Lorehold. Yeah. But I wish I was cool enough for I wish I was cool enough for Silverquill because they dress really cool. And I like that. But I think realistically, I was always like an ancient history nerd, so Lorehold would be for me. What do you think of the Dragons approach? I think it's cute. I think it's fine. And there might be some sweet brews around it, but I feel like it's like an excellent candidate for Commander Clash, where you just do it one time and you're like, all right, I did the thing one time. So it's great. It's a great gimmick deck. That's what I'll call it. I think Dragon's Approach is a great gimmick deck. Play it one time and then you're pretty good. Do you like Spain? Yeah, I like Spain. I wish I could visit Spain at some point. Thoughts on the new Elder Dragons Tomer? I think all of them are really cool and well designed. I like all of them. What are you hoping to see in the new Innistrad sets? Probably a good werewolf commander. I think they have to get it. Like, third time's a charm, right? Like, they have to get a good werewolf commander this time, right? I also want to see Madness return, but I don't think it's going to return. I also want Clues. Clues are the top one. I want a Clue. Banned Clue Commander, please. Just give me a banned Clue Commander. I really want Investigate to return. Clue Tribal, please. Well, we can still have the link on another window. Yeah, but you still have to vote, I guess. All right, we'll just post it here. Let's just refresh. You made a good point, Solaris. You made a good point. Let's go Hofri, guys. What is your opinion on Secret Rendezvous? I don't know what Secret Rendezvous is. Oh, okay. That's a good rant. Secret Rendezvous. All right. So I have mixed feelings on this card, basically. I think in a vacuum, this card is actually really sweet. I know it got memed on a whole bunch, but I think this card is actually way better than people give it credit for. Basically, paying 3 mana to draw 3 is something that most monocolors don't really get to do. And if they do, it has to jump through some hoops. I think the best 3 mana draw 3 that I can think of is Painful Truth, but you have to be in a 3-color deck to use it because it has that converge requirement. There's also Read the Bones, which is also really good, but it's only scry 2 then draw 2. Paying 3 to draw 3 is not something that you find very often, and if you can do it, you have to do something special to get it. So Secret Rendezvous just being like straight up, you don't have to do anything special, you just pay 3, draw 3, is actually really good, ignoring any color issues or whatever like that. And having it in white makes it very, very appealing. Now, it comes with a very specific downside where you have to give an opponent 3 cards as well. And I like this actually because I like political cards. I like that this doesn't give all your opponents 3 cards. If it gave all your opponents 3 cards, I'd call this card trash and I would almost never play it. But, I mean, it would be still good in group hug decks because you want to be helping your opponents. But being able to choose one opponent means you can use this politically. You can just be like, hey, I'm going to cast Secret Rendezvous. Somebody give me an offer if I let you draw 3 cards. And that thing can be like, I'm not going to attack you. I'm going to use my removal spell to blow up something that's mutually beneficial to both of us. Stuff like that, right? So you can use this as a political tool to gain extra advantage. So you're drawing 3 cards, your opponent is drawing 3 cards too, but you're getting extra value out of it too because you're using it politically. Also, the other thing is that sometimes, or very often rather, at any given point in a commander game, there's going to be an arch enemy at the table where there's one person clearly ahead of the rest of the table. And when you are not that person, when you are not that person, you can usually go to the person who is lagging the most behind, and you can be, hey, like, you're lagging behind. I'm not scared of you as a threat, and you're not scared of me as a threat. And we have a clear threat that we have to work together to deal with. So let's draw cards together, and we're going to work together to deal with this threat. So I think Secret Rendezvous is actually really powerful in many different ways. In white, that people aren't giving it credit for. They just see, I draw 3, you draw 3, it's terrible. And that's probably true in a 1 versus 1 format, but in Commander, I think this one's actually really good. However, and this is the big however, the problem with this type of card is that if this was in a color that already had very good card draw, people would be like, this card is actually really sweet and I'm really excited about it. But the reason why people meme on it, the reason why people are like, oh my god, is this April Fool's, is because white is in the worst position in terms of card draw. And people are anticipating at this point that after 2 years of complaints, that this is around the time that we're expecting white to get good card draw. It takes 2 years for cards to be printed and developed. And so this is the point, like 2 years after, Eldraine and everybody memeing on green being overpowered and Simic being overpowered and Wizards of the Coast being like, we hear you on white, we'll try to do better. It's in development, it takes 2 years, it takes time. This is the time where we're looking for good card draw in white. And we get a card like Secret Rendezvous, which is not good in general for white card draw. This is not the type of card draw you want to be using just like as a general rule of thumb in white. That is why it feels really bad and why people are memeing on it. It's kind of like you go to a restaurant and you're really hungry, you're famished, you haven't eaten for the entire day, and you go to like a steak restaurant and something like that, and like, finally, I'm going to have a steak. I've been looking forward to this for the entire day. I'm famished. Let's have a steak. And the server goes to you and be like, you know what? We're out of steak, but good news. We have a dessert. It's a cheesecake. Here's your cheesecake. And you're like, great. I would have loved this cheese. This is a fantastic cheesecake. It's a great dessert. It would have been great to get after my steak. If I had my steak already, I would have been full. I would have been, yes, I am happy with my steak. I am content. Now bring on the cheesecake. This Secret Rendezvous is the cheesecake. I want this after I get the good card draw. Give me the good card draw first, and then I will be very excited about Secret Rendezvous. Holy crap, did I just go on a long rant? Well, those are my thoughts. Wow. Okay, we don't... Oh boy. Oh boy, that took a while. That took a while. So those are my thoughts on Secret Rendezvous. Oh man. Oh boy. Yeah, with Narset it seems very busted. Yeah, it's very good when you add blue cards to the deck. Thanks. I'm so glad I added blue to fix my white issues for card draw. AKA the best way to fix the issues of white card draw is to add a color that draws cards. Thank you. Thanks for that. Much appreciated. Oh, man. All right. Hull Breacher. Oh, it's great with Hull Breacher. Yeah, another blue card. Thank you. Oh, man. Oh, boy. All right. All right. It's been 13 minutes, folks. I think we can call it. Orzhov Auras wins. We're gonna do a follow-up. This is for all the marbles. Is that what people still say? Do people say all the marbles? I hope so. I hope so. Which Orzhov Auras? Alright, Killian, Voltron, Daxos, Control. Alright. Last poll, chat. Last poll. Let's share it. We're going to give it 5 minutes on this one. 5 minutes on this one, all right? Tomer refresh. Can we do a shorter poll? Yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes on this one. Which commander is being up? Main, Killian or Daxos? Choose your fighter. Amazing with Notion Thief. I agree, Andrew. Amazing with all these non-white cards. Who knew? I generally don't see you letting your opponent draw as a big deal. So many decks do that intentionally. I think it's a big deal. I think you give more card draws to decks that have better ramp options than you and better threats than you is a big deal. Why is all the draw hate blue? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Secret Rendezvous plus Alms Collector. I know Alms Collector is a good one. That is in whites. That gives my thumbs up of approval. But I don't think Alms Collector is that great of a card. And then you still have to have the card pairing, or else it's not very good. You should do a rant stream. That would be fun. I feel like they're more like spontaneous things. If I have to go into rant mode for an entire stream, I feel like it's less good. Looking forward to them making a white card where you draw 5 and target opponent wins. Don't refresh. It's good with 1,000 Years Stolen Lab Maniac. Yep. Go on a 5-minute rant about. Well, I like well-lost streams. No disrespect to well-lost streams for me. White is the color that just needs a few helpers from another color to be broken. How could anything be better than Daxos? I mean, people like Killian, so I shall do what the people ask. I think that Orzhov Auras had an advantage on the poll because both parties, Daxos and Killian, wouldn't vote for that. I think that's fair, Tim. I think that's fair. But am I salty about it? I'm not. I like auras a lot. If people did not know this about me, I kind of like auras a whole bunch. 2 of my favorite decks are actually Siona auras and Wylith auras. So I kind of like auras a lot. So maybe I did a unfairly skewed poll. Maybe that was my bad there. But at the same time, I don't mind it. You can combo Secret Rendezvous with Alms Killian. Yep. Nothing else, but he's not new. Killian hype. Killian's a hot new stuff. I get it. We all know Voltron always leads to Cauldron. There's going to be no Cauldron deck. No Cauldron in this deck. I'm brewing my Blex Life Swap themes right now. Nice. I mean, I was about to say Killian sucks. Going a 5-minute rant about my pay comment didn't get what Matt. I'm looking. Oh shit. Okay. Matt Chamberlain, thank you for the $2. Will you do a brew for the Witherbloom Dragon? It is definitely on my list of things to do. I'm sorry that I missed your comment before. I think the Witherbloom Dragon is very strong. I'm not sure if I like it more as part of the 99 or the Commander. I think it kind of fits both directions pretty well. But yeah, it's definitely a powerful Commander option, for sure. All right, 4 minutes. We'll give it 1 more minute, but I think the results are in, folks. Don't knock cheesecake. I love cheesecake, but if I go to a steak restaurant, I will have the cheesecake after I have my steak, please and thank you. What are your opinions on Mono Dreams and Mono White decks? I like it. I think that Orzhov Auras has advanced. Yes. All right, I have caught up. Voted Daxos, even though we all know who wins here. I mean, there's always a chance that I do just a stream where I just do Daxos because I want to. Sometimes the polls don't matter. The polls matter for when it matters, but when it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Hi from IZ. Hello, Nita. You can see it as a small wheel. What? Boop, boop, boop. Which is the best any number of cards commanders? It's probably one of the blue ones. I do agree. If you play against better decks, you'll probably lose. No, I just think if you're giving your opponents free resources, card draw and ramp are the two things that are like two fundamentals that every single deck needs. So if you're giving your opponents an equal amount of them, of both either resource, then you're inherently putting yourself at a little bit of a disadvantage. It's much better to draw 3 cards and give your opponent no cards, is what I'm saying. I think we can both agree on that. If you ever played against a Darien Soul Sisters deck, you wouldn't be saying white can't be broken on its own. I mean, I have played a Darien Soul Sisters deck. I've also seen it played against me, and it's won 0 times. Either way. Do you think they'll introduce sideboards to make Learn work in Commander? I do not think so. I think they're pretty much against that. Looks like Killian wouldn't do it too bad. I mean, I think a lot of people are happy with Killian, so you can't please everybody. That's a number 1 rule. Hey, Tomer, don't forget Smothering Tide. You draw 3 and ramp for your... Yep, Smothering Tide is a very good card. I agree with that. But I don't think Smothering Tide's needed. Or I don't think Secret Rendezvous is needed to make Smothering Tide already very good. I would just run Smothering Tide and not Secret Rendezvous, personally. But I will run Secret Rendezvous in some decks. I do think it's a nice political card. Hi from Israel. Okay, I get you. Did you keep Pesach? Not really. I did a Seder. I did a Seder with my family on Skype and whatnot, but I don't keep kosher or keep Pesach. No. I hope you had a good Passover, Nita. Do you think MTG would ever add a 6th color? I do not think so. They would also have to add a new card back for that, which would be difficult. Killian makes Haggard Mauling more playable. I mean, Haggard Mauling is always decent. I want Killian because I want to build him, so vote Orzhov, but just for next time. Yeah. I see where people are hyped for, and I respect that. I want to get what the people want, you know? That's why we're here. That's what Backseat Brewing's about. We want to give the people what they want. You like Wild Auras? Don't let Culture hear that. Wild Auras is fantastic. I do think Killian is kind of a bad commander, but that's just me. People run blank cards as commanders. Ooh. Well, maybe I will prove you wrong. I love Cheesecake Chaotic. No, I want to go on the record to say that I love cheesecake. Just I don't want it for dinner. I want the cheesecake as dessert. I want my dessert when it's dessert time, not as a meal replacement. Honestly, feel like Cody giveaway strats are worse than people would expect. The mana cost to activate is colorless. You may end up helping people more than you. Yes, I agree that it's still helpful to them, but it could also ruin some strategies because you can't cast any permanents. I think it's overall a net win. Please build Killian with Lurrus. Stake as a topping. I will consider Lurrus as a companion, but I'm not going to build specifically for Lurrus. So we'll see. I didn't realize actually Killian costs reduces spot removal. That's something. Yeah, it is good. It is good. What's this aura around you? Oh, that's my stand. It's a very powerful stand, but you can't see it usually. I guess you can see the aura though. Ingenious Mastery is just better than Rendezvous. Blah 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 blah. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's 9 minutes. All right, let's go. Let's go. It is Killian time. It is Killian time, friends. All right. All right. Creating a new deck. It is Killian time. Let's say I don't know what the price of the deck is going to be. I don't know what the price is going to be. We're gonna say $100, but I think we could do $50. Do people want to see a cheaper deck, or do you want a $50 deck or a $100 deck? We could do both, but I'm just curious what people are on for this one. All right, so Killian. Luris is terrible of Killian. You need your auras to cost at least 2 to take advantage of Killian's ability, and Luris wants to meet 2 or less. I agree with that. I don't think Luris is that good. I don't think Luris is that good. I think Luris is a good card, but like you have to be in a deck that already wants to be in Luris, right? Each permanent card in your starting deck has converted mana cost 2 or less. If we're building an aura deck, which we are, I don't think this is a very good pickup. $50, $100. $70? Ooh. All right, we got. Most people are $100. All right, let's do $100 then. All right. So step 1, chat. We have chosen our commander. Anyway, is it Control S? No, it's not Control. What's the hotkey for strike through? I should know this. I'm a grown man and with knowledge of technology. I can't even find the thingy on it. Is it this one? No. Normal text? No. I always thought it was Control S. Well, let's just delete it then. Actually, I guess let's make a copy first. No, we'll just delete it. All right, so our dude is going to be Killian Voltron. That's the one. Searching for the hockey. Yep. First Enchanter. How do people go about setting up to join one of your commander streams? So what you got to do is Alt Shift 5. Okay, thank you. All right. So what you got to do is you got to send me an email at tomer@mtggoldfish.com. I think it's vet. I think the command is vet. Let me try it. Send me an email at tomer@mtggoldfish.com. Leave in the title that you want to be in a future stream, and all you got to do is you got to have Magic Online, have your own deck up and ready, and then have voice chat. And if you can do all those things, then I will try to. I'll get you into the MTG Goldfish Discord, and I will invite you to the Commander stream where I organize future games. So, yeah. All right. So, what are our deck's goals? Play auras at huge discounts. That's really fun. That's kind of the big reason why I'm excited. What do we want to do? Voltron Killian. Change yours up. And kill things. Maybe life gain. How do we win? Voltron. Easy way. Now we have our game plan, chat. So we're building a aura deck. Our game plan is going to be Voltron Killian and kill people primarily with Killian, but we'll have Enchantress things as backup. And Killian does have life gain to him, so we could add some life gain matters sub-themes to it. But that's not the main effect of this deck. So we're basically going to go through building a deck together now. So we've chosen Killian. It's Aura. It's Voltron. It's going to be fun. So let us get started. All right. Let us see what are some pretty sweet things we can be doing here. And we're going to start with the mana base. I know the mana base is the least interesting thing when we're talking about a new deck. But I think it is also important. So let's do produces equals WB. I like starting with the mana base first, by the way, because the problem I see a lot of people do when they're brewing a deck is, well, not really a problem. It's just like a time efficiency thing. Usually when I see people brew a deck, what they do is they basically just take a pile of cards, right? They take like 200 cards, and they just slap them all together, and they all kind of fit the idea of what they want to build. They go to EDH Rec, they go online, they think about cards that are really, really sweet for this commander, and they just throw them all into a pile. And then you have like 200 cards. And the difficult thing, if you're working that way, is once you have this 200 card pile or whatever number of cards, you then have to cut down, and you have to be like, wait a minute, what do I need to cut? Like, I need to figure out what I need to cut. Well, I need to make sure that I have enough lands. So you need to count how many lands you have, and then you need to cut down a certain number of lands. Or then you'll go to your ramp, and you'll be like, I have like 50 ramp cards. I need to cut down to like 13 or so, or I don't even have enough ramp cards. So now I need to add some ramp, and I need to cut some more stuff. And basically the idea of basically just taking a random pile of cards, making 200 plus, and then cutting down to 100 is a lot less time efficient than just building the other way around, where you build piece by piece up to 100 or so, or maybe like 110, and then cut down just a little bit. That way of building is actually a lot more faster and time efficient for you than actually just taking a pile of cards of like 200 or so and then cutting your way down and figuring out what aspects of the deck you actually need. So we're actually going to be starting with the ramp aspect of the deck first, and we're going to hit 37 ramp and like 13 or so, or 37 lands, and then 13 or so ramp. Maybe a little bit less because Killian is such a powerful ramp source in our engine. So he is definitely our most powerful ramp card in our deck. He's a 2-mana ramp card in our deck, essentially. So we might want less ramp cards than usual. Usually I go down to 37, but I think we might go to like 10 or so. It really depends on what we're trying to run here. So I'm going to add all the mana fixing lands. I think are very important. So we'll just like click on the name. We'll take them, and these are mostly just budget options. I know they're all pretty cheap. So we'll take this as well, and we're shooting for $100, chat. And I apologize if I miss any messages. Just poke me. And send me a message again, and eventually I will get to it. I'm very bad at multitasking. This is a problem. I don't know how much this snarl is. It doesn't look very good, though. I don't really like it. How much is silent clearing? I don't even know. Oof, that's a lot. All right. Shambling Vent? Ooh, Shambling Vent's cheap. So step one, we're just going to be adding the lands. Getting the lands is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, there aren't a lot of aura-ish lands that we should care about. There's only Hall of Helios Generosity and like Sarah's Sanctum. I think those are the only 2 lands that are relevant to us. And I think both of them are kind of expensive. I know Sarah's Sanctum is expensive because it's a reserve list, so that's not going against the budget. But the other ones might... actually, I don't think we want the Basilica here. The Basilica is actually a little bit awkward for us to cast. Let's go Isolated Chapel. Ooh, that's a little bit expensive too. We'll take the Forsaken Sanctuary, though. I think there's like 1 land that is not in here. Oh, nope, not that. The budget is $100. Vault of the Archangel. I mean, Killian already has life gain, so I don't think it's as important. Cave of Coilus, yeah. Tainted Field, that's the one. We want Tainted Field. We want Command Tower, and we want Path of Ancestry. Silent Clearing. What's Silent Clearing? I'll type it in. Are tap lands worth running since you always want to cast your commander on turn 2? Okay, so here's one thing that I would suggest is I don't think you want to cast Killian turn 2 usually. I think you generally want to cast Killian when you have protection to save him on the same turn. So I expect to cast Killian on like turn 1 usually, or sorry, turn 3 usually. Gotta go. See you, Wormweaver. Later. Caves of Coilus. Commander Tower. I wish it was a Commander Tower. There's Command Tower and there's Commander Tower. You see. Vault of the Archangel is expensive. I don't think it's necessary either because it's 10th and lifelink. I don't think those are 2 things we really need for this. Ash Baron. Yeah, it's fine. I think this is a pretty solid start. Silent Clearing is kind of expensive too. I think this is a pretty good start. Let's get rid of that. You're going to need a lot of hexbook creatures. Yeah. Killian seems like a turn 4 commander. Yeah, I don't think you need to rush him out that fast. I think turn 4 is like a good thing to do. Like, you want to have Killian on the battlefield and you want to have mana available to you to still protect him from stuff. So I think that's probably the way to go. Now, as for ramp options, I think we want the Signet. Again, we don't really... It is a turn 2 Killian, but we could do a turn 2 Killian. But I think setting up some earlier ramp is still also very good. So Orzhov Signet is good. Colorless ramp is also less useful to us because Killian is colorless, a big colorless reduction. So that can be... That could be one way of doing it. Pathway, on-color cycling lands. Castle Lochwain is cheap. No, I think that like Baron Moor is good, and Secluded Sept is good. War Room's a little bit expensive. I don't think we'll need it. And then we don't even need that many. Like, some basics are pretty good in this deck, honestly. Like, we do like 11 plains, 11 swamp, and we're kind of good, right? I'm also less a fan of most of the colorless ramp options. Like, obviously we want Sol Ring because Sol Ring is just fantastic, but like Mind Stone gets a lot worse here just because Killian's such an effective colorless ramp option already. So we're gonna go 12 and 12. So we're pretty good on the lands. We're running 2 cyclers, so I'm going to go to 37. I think we could go even lower than that, to be honest. We want mostly untapped lands, though. So I'm not going to go too ham, and we want them to tap for colors because, again, Killian is going to be such a powerful colorless ramp engine that we don't really want a lot of lands to tap for colorless, and we don't want too many ramp options to tap for colorless either. Orzhov Talisman. I forget the name of it. Talisman of Hierarchy? Yeah. I don't know how expensive that is. I think it's one of the newer ones, though, so it shouldn't be that bad. What do you think about Surveyor's Scope? I think it's pretty good. All right, it's $1.42, but 48 is fine, though. Matters if you want ramp attached to creatures so you can play Killian later, yeah. Reference vessels. All right, I'm not too sure. I'm surprised the Talisman didn't show up in my query. I think Star Compass is pretty decent here. Yeah, Marble Diamond. That's fine. These are fine things. Bright Climb Pathway. I'll see how much it costs. If it's like less than $6, I think so. Bright Climb Pathway. Oh wow, it's cheap. Yeah. All right. All right. So the ramp aspect of Killian's very interesting to me because he poses a unique challenge, right? Like, you want mostly colored mana. He is a 2-drop, but I do think you want to cast him a little bit later. But that means there's a higher emphasis on faster ramp options. So you can play a ramp card and then cast Killian with more lands, more mana available to you to have that protection up. So I like 1 to 2 CMC or 1 to 2 mana value ramp options that you can cast before you cast Killian, and then you have Killian up and you have some protection. I think that's the ideal start. And I'm not seeing all the best options here, so we're going to... The next thing we want to do, I think, is I'm going to start looking at stuff with the aura in the text. There are some creatures that specifically care about discounting your auras. So while we're adding a bunch of aura related cards, I'm going to kind of kind of in the deck builder itself, I'm going to make some little spaces here so that we know how much we have of everything so far. So right now we have 38 lands, which is too much. I'm going to cut down probably 36. I feel like this is a 36 here. So we'll do 36 lands. I want like 10 ramp options here. Maybe more, depending on how many cheap options we have here. So I want to say 10. We only have 5 or so right now. Wait, does Killian reduce the cost of single target removal too? Yes, he does. There's a bunch of really cool, powerful abilities here, and I'm just going to start taking a couple of them and you can target permanent player. I'm going to just start adding a bunch of these here and try to throw them into rough categories, right? So I want 10 ramp. I want like 10 or so card draw. I think we want even more card draw in this deck, to be honest, or at least cantrips. We want some card draw, but we also want cantrips in this deck a lot. Because Killian is a very powerful ramp option, so we're going to be able to dump out our hand very, very quickly. So we're going to need to compensate for that by adding a lot more ramp than usual, or a lot more card draw than usual. And then we have stuff like finishers and removal. I guess we'll pull removal first. You know, and we're just going to be following basically this sort of checklist as we're building the deck. So this would be target removal. A+ target removal. Like, I'm not going to say no to card draw, right? If I have more than 10 card draw, I'm happy with this in this deck. More target removal than 8, I'm happy in this deck. You know, maybe 2+ board wipes in this deck, because we are going to have a pretty decent board state at all times. 2 graveyard recursion is good. That's a good number. You know. Oh my god, I saw the checklist and I always play 35 lands anywhere. I think, again, this is a general guideline, and this has served me well for most budget decks and non-CDH decks. If I was a CDH player, or rather, if you look at CDH decks, you're going to find that 50 mana is actually pretty close to what people run as well. I split it up like this because people were confused at how much mana there was. They said 50 mana is too much. But if let's say I was a CDH deck, what you'll find often if you go to check out CDH decks is the number of lands goes way down, but the number of ramp actually goes up to compensate. So you're going to be seeing decks that regularly run like 28 lands, but then the ramp you'll find in them is like 18 if you count them all up. Or they'll also have a bunch of tutors. They'll have tutors to find, you know, the land if they're missing a land drop, or the ramp if they're missing the ramp drop, or stuff like that. So the difference between a CDH deck and this like sort of budget version is mostly changing up these ratios of land, ramp, card draw, and tutors. But you know, it really depends. Do you have the tutors? If you don't have a bunch of tutors in your deck, you need to run more lands. You need to run more ramp. So yeah. But like if you count up all the mana that they run, if you count up the total lands and ramp they have, it's kind of similar to 50. Yeah, in my CDH deck I run 27 to 29. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. But you also run probably a little bit more ramp, or you run a lot of tutors that can find you the ramp when you need it. If you're running a deck that's budget though, you don't have access to many tutors, so you have to increase other counts instead. Anyway, that was a bit of a ramble. All right, so we got graveyard recursion, we got tutors. Oh, we do have access to some good tutors in auras. I am pretty well versed in auras, you can say. Like kind of one of my favorite archetypes. Graveyard hate. One GY hate. We have at least one good one there. I'm gonna just throw it in there already. Agent of Erebos. That's gonna be our graveyard hate. And then like, I'm surprised I win cards. I'm gonna call them finishers. And Killian's our primary finisher, so we already have that kind of already in the bag here. Yeah, Bajuka Bog's also good. Bajuka Bog is also good here. I will lower a swamp count for that. All right. So finishers, we'll just throw the rest in here, but we don't really need a specific finisher. All right, so now I'm going to start filling the deck with stuff that I already know is pretty good. I've done a lot of Aura decks already, so I kind of know what's up with them. So Ajani's Chosen is a fantastic. Ajani's Chosen is a fantastic just token generator. This is going to be one of the primary ways we can win the game outside of Killian. So Killian is our primary strat number 1. We are a Voltron deck, so we're going to be trying to kill with Killian as the primary goal, but we still want blockers, obviously, and Ajani's Chosen will provide us blockers, and it's also going to be an alternate win condition. So if Killian gets shut down, and I mean pretty often he will be shut down, we will still have other ways to win the game, and one of the big ways is going to be Ajani's Chosen. Ardent Intrepid Archaeologist, I actually haven't played in an Aura deck yet. But I think this one is actually pretty decent. It's not very decent in Wylith, for example. But because we're in black, because we're in Orzhov, we're going to have a lot of auras that are going to be very powerful against other creatures. And we could use Arden to move them around. I'm not sold on how effective it's going to be, because most of our beneficial auras are going to be on Killian and nothing else. And we don't need to move them around. And I think most of the auras that we're going to use on opposing creatures are going to kill them, so we don't need to move those around either. But I think that's an interesting thing to at least put as an option and just throw in there and see if maybe that makes a cut based on the other cards we're going to be adding into this deck. So I'm going to put it in miscellaneous. Now, another card that I've been very impressed with in both Aura and equipment decks is Armored Skyhunter. Every single time it's attacking, it's generating card advantage. If you're in a deck that's full of auras in it digs 6. It almost always hits, and it's just good card advantage. It's just very solid. It's better when you have haste enablers, and that's a little bit easier to do in a Wylith deck, for example. But even here, it's going to be very effective as generating card draw. And this is what the deck really needs is card draw. So Armored Skyhunt is fantastic here. Auramancer, not that impressed with. Aura of Silence is very fantastic. It's kind of expensive, but it is a good hate piece. It doesn't really fit our theme of targeter removal. But it is a very powerful hate piece. Like just sitting on the battlefield, it's very powerful. So I like it even if it doesn't really fit what Killian is doing himself. It's very solid. Benevolent Blessing, very good just protection. And our deck is going to need to protect Killian a lot because so much of the value is going to be around Killian, both as a ramp engine and also going to be just protecting him as a Voltron strategy. So Benevolent Blessing is very good. And it also, very importantly, it gives the creature protection, but it also doesn't remove the auras that are already attached to it. So a downside is, like, if you play a protection from white, put a protection from white aura on Killian, and he had some white auras already attached to him, those would fall off. And this gets around that, which is really nice. So I guess we'll put another thing, and we'll call it protection. But I'll just put it in miscellaneous. We don't really need its own thing. I honestly don't mind Boonweave for an Aura Touch, but I'm not sure if there's any combos we can do with it. Now I know a lot of people are giving card suggestions, but we'll get to them. I promise you, we'll get to them. It will just take us some time. All right. I'm not just gonna throw in everything that people mention, but I might get to that card and then throw it in. So Boomweaver Giant and Aura Touch Mage, these are expensive tutors, but they can set up some powerful combos depending on the list. I don't know. I don't know if you could do it in Killian decks, but we'll find out. We'll find out when we get there. All right, these are some interesting things, but not really what we want. Danitha's interesting. She's also ramp. I like her as ramp in general, but Killian is already going to give us a 2 mana discount on all our auras. So Danitha seems kind of like a backup Killian. It might be good enough, but I don't necessarily think we want a backup Killian in the deck. Like, I don't think if you have Danitha and Killian on the battlefield, there's not going to be a lot of things that are going to cost so much colorless mana that we're going to get value out of both of them. But I will put her in the ramp option just as an option, and we'll see where we want to go with that. All right, so this is a really cool card in Orzhov Auras that I actually don't play in the other aura lists that aren't in Orzhov. Dawn Evangel. Whenever a creature dies, if an aura you control was attached to it, return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. This is not just good protection for our own creatures. If we put like an aura on it and it dies, we can return stuff back. But it's also really effective when we use offensive removal auras. So we use some of the black removal auras to kill opposing creatures, and that will trigger Dawn of Evangel, and we'll get more creatures back from it. We will need to have a decent amount of creatures for it to, work, but I think we'll have enough like hate bears and stuff that it will be effective. Daybreak Coronet. We don't need the lifelink part, but I mean, that's a lot of value. You get +3/+3, First Strike, and Vigilance for Killian. We don't get any mana discount either. And it is kind of a little bit expensive, but I think it's still a very good, just like a good beatdown card, regardless. Eidolon of Countless Battles. This actually does work with Killian. If you bestow on Killian, then we just have to pay two white, and it's just a good Aura Pumperino, just a good Aura Pumperino. I like it a lot. Erebos' Emissary. Discard a card, a creature card. It has to be a creature card. I'm not that fan. Not a fan. Everstrike. It gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it. So this is a backup Killian again. Return Everstrike from your graveyard to play. You may put an aura of conversion cost X or less from your hand to the battlefield attached to it. If you don't, that's kind of cute. I don't know if it's great, but it is cute. I will add it for the cuteness factor. I think this is a cute card. I don't know if it's a great card in the deck, but it is a backup Killian, and it is cute. And I think it's cute. And sometimes that's just enough, This is like a worse Daybreak Coronet, but it is going to be only 1 white in the Killian, so that's actually pretty solid. So we're going to throw that in there as well. Flicker Form. Oh, Flicker Form is actually fantastic in any Voltron strategy because basically as long as you have 4 mana up, you can just constantly blink Killian, and he could dodge everything. He dodges just like all the removal, be it targeted or board wipes, and you can cast. You could use it multiple times per turn as well. Also, when it's exiled, you return to the battlefield. When you return to the battlefield, you might get more powerful enter the battlefield triggers. I think that's how it's worded. I think if it's exiled and then returns to the battlefield, I think you get. Yeah, it's a blink effect. Yeah, so if we have enchantments with powerful enter the battlefield triggers, we get extra value out of all of these too. So Flicker Form is really good. I'm gonna just put it in there, the misc section. Yeah, Flicker Form is really sweet. Flicker Form is a great card. Graceblade Artisan, just a bad backup. Halvar got a battle. I don't think so. I mean, he's good, but he's also like $8. He's not $8 good. Now, Hateful Eidolon, yes, indeed. I think everybody's pretty hyped about the Hateful Eidolon, and for good reason. This is one of the best cards in our deck. It is a flavorful card draw engine, incremental card draw engine in the deck that is also an enchantment itself. So you have even more synergy potential in this deck. So whenever an enchanted creature dies, draw a card for each aura you control that was attached to it. This is going to synergize really well with our black enchantments that are going to be targeting our opponents as removal. So it's going to be really, really good here. So we have some flavorful card draw. It's not my favorite card draw, though. I will say this, chat. This is not my favorite card draw spell in the deck. You will find my favorite card draw spell in the deck. Maybe you can call out my favorite card draw spell in the deck if you know me very well. Heavenly Blade Master I like, as well as like a backup finisher. This is one of my favorite backup finishers because, I mean, it costs a lot of mana, but like that's the whole idea of a backup finishers. You slap on something very big late game when Killian is too expensive to recast, and this one checks those boxes. 3/6 flying double strike, and it just grabs everything. It just grabs everything from the battlefield, and you're just like, boom. Boom, I win now. So I like it. I like it a lot. It is a good egg, you know? Helios Pilgrim. White is really good at supporting auras, you guys. If you did not know, White is really good at supporting auras. And one of the reasons is that it has at common just a tutor on a stick, which is just fantastic in this deck. So we're going to have a decent amount of tutors. I'm still not sure about the Aura Touch Mage and Boonweaver Giant, but if there are any combos, let me know. And maybe I'll notice it in the comment section. Maybe I'll notice. Maybe there is like a one-card combo of Boonweaver. Hero of Our Rose. Again, it suffers with the same issue where, like, I don't think we're going to get that mana discount that much with Killian on the battlefield. It's kind of redundant. But, I mean, it's neat. It's better in other aura decks is what I'm going to say, but it might still be decent enough here. The fact that it's only auras is a little bit eh. All right, so Kitsune Mystic is cute. It moves around auras, but I don't think this is necessarily a thing we really care about. And yeah, if there's a combo fit, then it gets a lot better. But as is, I don't think it's very useful. Of course, Spirit Dancer, another fantastic card draw enabler, and we need a lot in the deck. So this is really good. Light Form. Nah, not really. Not really feeling it. Necromancy. It doesn't work with Killian's ability, but it is a very powerful card. It is a little bit expensive, though. A little bit too expensive. A little bit too much for what we want for $100. Nomad Mythmaker, though, is pretty good recursion. I don't mind it. I kind of think it's neat. You may put a target aura card in a graveyard into play attached to a creature you control. It can't target opponents, but it is pretty good. Open the Armory. This is a good one. Again, really good. If you're an aura deck, you just have a 2-mana tutor. Very nice. You'll notice that we'll have a lot of tutors by the end of this. Orzhov Charm. Return target creature you control and all auras you control attach you to its owner's hand. This is a good way to protect our Killian from removal. Destroy target creature and you lose life equal to its toughness. That's not too big of a deal because we're a life gain deck, so we'll have some life to get back. And we can return something back from the graveyard if it's 1 mana value. It's pretty good. It's about as good as it's going to get, honestly, in our deck. Retether. Retether is climbing up in price, but it's essentially a replenish in our deck. Just mass graveyard recursion, one of the most powerful cards we can cast in our deck. Much better than Nomad Mythmaker or Dawn Evangel, to be honest. It's just a huge swing for us. Ooh, Rise to Glory. This is one of the few Orzhov true Orzhov aura support cards that you don't really see in other decks. We can get maximum value out of both of these. Both returning to the battlefield as well. Really, really good. Really, really powerful. So we're going to put that as well. Honestly, I like these more than Nomad Mythmaker. Nomad Mythmaker needs to be on the battlefield. Then you need to pay the extra mana to tap it. And it needs haste or else it's really slow. All right. So I don't know who correctly guessed it, but this is my favorite card draw spell in the entire deck. This is Sage's Reverie, and every single time I cast this card in an aura deck, it makes my day. It makes my day. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. It doesn't have to be creatures you control. It could just be on all creatures. And then enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura you control that's attached to your creature. So not only is this a huge finisher spell because it's going to pump the creature by a ridiculous amount, but it will draw you so many cards. You have like 6 auras on the battlefield. You drop Sage's Reverie, and then boom, you draw 6 cards, and it gets +6/+6. Good night, Nita. So yeah, this card is absolutely insane. And remember how much I was gushing about Flicker Form? I mentioned how Flicker Form, like you get to reuse Enter the Battlefield triggers. Where are you? Where are you, Flicker Form? There you are. When you blink it, it re-enters the battlefield. Like imagine Flicker Form and Sage's Revelation both on Killian, and then you blink in response to removal 4 mana with Flicker Form, and then you draw a billion more cards. It's so silly. I love it. It's so good. It's such a good card. I love Sage's Reverie. Sage's Reverie is just I will make an aura deck just to cast Sage's Reverie more. It's that good. Cigar Aid. Cigar Aid is a little bit cheaper, and I think it's definitely worth it in an aura deck. Having the ability to flash and stuff, like sure, you don't get maximum value like you do in equipment, where it automatically equips, but just flashing in auras is just really, really useful. It's a nice ability, underrated. Silence the Believers. Spectral Steel. I like Spectral Steel. This is unconventional recursion. +2/+2, but then when it's in the graveyard, you can just exile it. So it has like a flashback ability, return target aura to your hand. I think that's good. I'm gonna put it under recursion. Bum bum bum. Protecting from colors, and this effect doesn't remove auras. I think Spectral War is going to be pretty good here. Mass protection is pretty nice, and it's very expensive. It's very expensive. Cost of 5 mana is only going to be 3 mana with Killian, and then if we have any more cost reducers, we can actually use even more of that. SRAM card draw, easy peasy. Easy peasy inclusion. So we'll throw that in as well. So we're almost done all the... Starfield of Nixo. It's $11? Ugh. I mean, we'll throw it in. I don't think we really need it, to be honest. Like, we're not going to take advantage of this clause where it turns enchantments into creatures. And you may return target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, that's really good. It's a really good option. But I don't think we're hurting for graveyard recursion. Like we have Retether and stuff like that. So while it's a really good card, I don't think it's necessarily something that we need to pay $12 for or whatever. 3 Dreams is a very good tutoring. You get to tutor up 3 things for 5 mana, which is absolutely bonkers. Good value. Again, white is really good at tutoring, you guys. It's very good at tutoring auras. I very much like that. All right, so we'll do that. Totem Heart Guide, it's 5 mana for a tutor, not that great. Transcendent Envoy, I really like this more than most of the aura reduction spells because it is in itself an enchantment. So it will trigger constellation effects and stuff like that. So I think that's very cool. Again, it has the same issue where it's overlapping with Killian and not in a good way. So I'm not sure how I feel about it at the end of the day, but I'll throw it in there. Umbra Mystic. I like Umbra Mystic. It turns all our auras into totems. It is a little bit awkward, though. Wait. Why is slow? Update estimate? We could update it. It's going to look a little bit awkward, though, because I'll do it in a second, though. This is another miscellaneous. I guess most of these things are just protection, huh? But all right, here's what it's starting to look like price-wise. $73. And you can ignore these 37 cards from the total. It counts towards the card total because it doesn't know what they are. But yeah, we're slowly shaping up to do stuff. FO, Aura, ID. Didn't I already do that, though? This is basically... What's the difference between F... I don't think full Aura text doesn't really get anything. And ID, I mean, it's the command... I'm just looking for commander legal stuff. So these are 71 cards. These are 93 cards. Interesting. What new cards? Oh, it gets the bestow cards. I see. That's cool. All right, are there any bestow cards that we were missing through that? Intimidate. We got bestow. Oh, this is showing all... Is this showing also all auras? No. I was just showing like the totem armors and stuff. I was gonna get to the totem armors. Ghostblade Eidolon. It's 6 mana to bestow though. It's so much. I know there's a much easier, much cheaper one that's Battle Mastery. I much prefer that. I'm just seeing if there's any more bestow stuff that I like. Problem is most of the bestow stuff costs too much. I think that's the problem. Maybe Herald of Torment. But it's like I don't really care about the creature part of it, right? So it's only if like the bestow card itself is like really bananas. Maybe Night Howler. Maybe Night Howler. Night Howler can give a big pump. Can't attack alone is not very good. Yeah, I don't think there's any bestow. I don't think there's any other bestows that I really care about. Personally. Like, you're paying extra for having the upside of having a creature when the enchanted creature goes away, but like the creatures themselves aren't very good. It's more of like a limited thing, I think. I don't know. I'm not very impressed. Have you looked through Constellation yet? No. Don't worry, I will get to it. So we checked out auras. Now we're going to check out enchantments. And this is where you're going to find the Constellation stuff and whatnot. So Agent of Erebos, we just added it because we like it. Now we're going to start adding like some other stuff, like All That Clivers. Are you going to run Luris as a companion? No, because we're going auras. And Luris would kind of work against the aura theme. All That Glitters is a nice finisher for the deck. Once we fill up with some very sweet auras on Killian, we can just kind of blow them up. Yeah, Agent Erebos is insane in an aura deck. You're just going to ruin every person's graveyards repeatedly forever, for all time. Alseid of Life's Bounty is kind of awkward because if you give protection to white and black, then Killian will lose the auras that are on him. But I guess it's better than losing Killian, right? All right. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, I don't think this is very good because we have so much great graveyard recursion that we don't actually want to exile our stuff. Archon of Sun's Grace is our best backup finisher. Basically, like, you just drop Archon, and then you play the regular Enchantress / Killian strategy, and you just have an army of blockers or whatever, so... So yeah, that one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. So we'll go there. And... let's see here. Enchanted creature has double strike as long as it's an enchantment. Oh, I wish Killian was an enchantment. How sweet would that be? We're remaining. Whenever you cast an enchantment, I don't think this is good enough. Blightcaster, I liked and became less happy about over time. This is too weak as well. These are too weak. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield and you control tap target creature, too weak. Celestial Ancient is interesting, but less good if you're not going go wide. This is a cool one, but less good if you're not going go wide. I guess it's like kind of like the precursor to Nyx too, right? Like it's all starry nighty, you know, and enchantment related. It's pretty cool. Is there anything else? Crystal Chimes. Crystal Chimes is a good mass recursion option, and it's cheap. Returns all enchantments to our hand. I like that. That is good. Let's see. Is there anything else? Dawn to Dusk? Not really. Whenever Daxos' tournament enters the battlefield, enchantment enters the battlefield, it becomes a 5/5 with flying and haste. So it's just a beater. Not really exciting. Daxos' return, though. We're adding that. Yeah. Oversized. Oh. He's a little bit expensive, but he's good. He's a good backup finisher, y'all. Just a nice token maker. What else is good here? Doomwake Giant. Oof. Yes, we get to run Doomwake Giant. Constellation. Whenever Doomwake Giant or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, your creatures your opponent's control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Oh man, this is painful against anybody who's like a token deck or whatever like that. You just constantly get rid of your opponent's stuff. Oh baby. I like this a lot. All right, Dreadbringer Lampads. Whenever it enters the battlefield, target creature gets intimidated. Not good enough. Enlightened Tutor is a bit expensive, I think. Yeah. Wow, that is an expensive card. So we're not gonna do that. Ethereal Armor is very sweet. This is another Finisherino. Enduring Ideal? Not today. Not today. We're just like loading up on finishers. So I think we're pretty good on the finisher aspect. Destroy non-enchantment. If only it was just enchanted creatures. But we have Winds of Wrath. We'll still have Winds of Wrath, so that's fine. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, it gets double strike. Only it gets double strike though, which kind of sucks. Alright. One of those. Nope. I do like this card, Fracture. I think Fracture is pretty solid. Artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. So it's basically it's a disenchant that can sometimes hit planeswalkers. That's how I see it. It's almost always a disenchant. Sometimes hits planeswalkers. Not bad. I don't know if we're going to need it in the deck because we might just have aura-related ways of removing stuff, which, you know, it's fine. But we'll have it there as an option, you know? Is there anything else here? Constellation. This could be a combo win. I don't know if we can combo win it, but it's interesting enough. If we can somehow combo win with Grim Guardian, with just like constantly putting an enchantment on the battlefield constantly, that could be cool. This might be, I'll put it under finisher, but I don't know if we have a way. We have a way to combo off Hall of Healing Generosity. How much is that? Meh. Rent all damage. No. Idyllic Tutor. How much is that? Not that expensive. Not that bad. Constellation cards combo Flicker form. It does, but it's not infinite, right? Like you still have to spend all that mana on it. If there was a way to go infinite with the Constellation, that was like pretty easy to pull off, then I'd throw in a win condition like that. Helm of the Gods? Helm of the Gods is pretty sweet. It's another finisher. I don't know if it's necessary though, but we'll throw it in there. What's Fountain Watch? F. Oh. Artifacts and enchantments you control can't be the target of spells or abilities. Yeah, We don't need it. We don't need it, chat. Don't worry about it. Ooh, Karametra's Blessing. This is a good one. This is really good for Voltron strategies. Target creature gets +2/+2 until on turn, and when it's an enchanted creature, it also gets hits through indestructible. It's really good protection. Really, really good protection. I like that. That one's good. That one is good. Lurking Jackals. When your opponents have 10 or less life. Oh. Alright, that's cute. Mesa Enchantress. There we go. I think there's 2 Enchantresses. I don't know. Maybe just the one. Well, I'll take it. Mired Misery. Yes. Give me the janky auras. Thank you very much, sir. This is removal. Targeted removal, but it's like very it's very like this is very like aura Killian specific. I kind of skip through it because I've played this card a lot and I've been happy with it. But Mortal Obstinacy costs 1 mana for this aura. You put it on a creature. Gets +1/+1. Triggers Constellation. Triggers all this like enchantment matter stuff. Then when it deals damage to a player, you can sacrifice it and destroy a target creature. Target enchantment. It's just very efficient, and it's much better than it looks because it triggers so many things that are Enchantress related. So I really like this card. It's overperformed each time. Where's my target removal? There you go. There you are. There you go. Mortify's good. These cards are good, but like I think there's going to be enough Enchantress related stuff that I don't need to run them. Open the Vault. Oh, so much mass reanimation. It's great. So much. We're just going to fill up in Graveyard Recursion. Just this entire deck will be Graveyard Recursion. It'd be fantastic. All right. I'm not familiar with all the black ones, actually. All the black auras, so I'm going to read them. Get +2/+2 unless it's an enchantment. Otherwise, it gets -2/-2. That's kind of weak. Enters the battlefield. Return target enchantment card, creature card. Enchantment creature card. Okay. Ugh. All right. That would be cool if we had a lot of enchantment creature cards. Parallax Dementia. A fading 1. Target creature gets +3/+2. When it leaves play, destroy enchanted creature. Ooh. So the creature has 1 turn to live. I think that's kind of cute. I don't know if it's good enough, but it's cute. I don't know. I think that's cute. I don't know if it's good enough, but it's cute. All right. Parallax Nexus. Fading 5. Remove a fade counter from Parallax Nexus. Opponent removes a card from their library from the game. All right, so temporarily just removing stuff from the hand. I know Parallax Wave. If I had some combos of it, I'd put it in. Plead for Guidance. It's 6 mana to tutor, but it is a tutor. I don't think we'll need it, to be honest. It's a bit too high end, but it's better in green decks when you have a ton of ramp and such. Replenish, I wish, but too expensive. Seal of Cleansing, I like. I like me some Seal of Cleansing. All right. That's a good target removal. Another backup finisher, Sigil of Empty Throne. How did I forget? This makes 4/4s. Every single time we cast an enchantment, we make a 4/4. That's insane. Absolutely insane. What's the deck he's building now? I'm building Killian Orzhov Auras. Killian Orzhov Auras. All right. We have plenty of ways to end the game, I think. No problem with that. 7 mana, you could return target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield is good if you have a lot of mana, which this deck probably will not have. Same thing with Skullvorm. This is kind of slow. Sphere of Safety is good. Steelfield Mystic is good. I don't know if we'll need Sphere of Safety, but it is nice. You know, it's very good protection for your face, which is good. Starfield Mystic is also good ramp, but again, as I mentioned earlier, Having a mana discount of only colorless does get a lot worse when Killian reduces them by 2 for the most part. So it's better than the other ones because Killian doesn't reduce the cost of all enchantments that aren't auras. But yeah, it is a bit awkward. So I'm going to throw it in there, but I'm not sure if I want it. Stonehaven Pilgrim, Artifact Enchantment, nope. Temple Thief, nope. Thought Render Lamia, kind of mean. I'll say no though. Return all. Wow, this is some. That's a cool one too. It is 9 mana though, so I'm gonna say no to that. Put the top 3 cards. Okay. Enters the battlefield. You gain 1 life. Pay 1 life. Nah. Nah. All right. Multiple people seem to want Inner Demon. Okay. Let's look up Inner Demon. Enchant creatures gets +2/+2, and demon to non-creatures get. It's alright. This is fine. The problem is they're going to pick off all our smaller creatures, right? Like Eidolon dies, Hero of Rose dies, Core Spirit Dancer dies, SRAM dies, Transcendent Envoy dies, Arden dies, Danitha dies. I'm gonna say to Inner Demon, probably not. Probably not, chat. Sorry. Sorry for all the Inner Demon stands. And also, I'm kind of going through a set process. So I know a lot of people are just kind of like throwing a bunch of card names at me, but like you can see, I'm going through like a certain process, right? We went through the ramp, you know, we went through the lands, we went through stuff that cares about auras in the card text. Now we went through stuff that cared about enchantments in the card text, and now the final thing we're going to be doing is going to be going through auras specifically, and we're going to just pick up like all the smaller auras that we were missing. So that's the final part. So a lot of people have been just like throwing card names, but like if I haven't gone to this card yet, it's because I haven't gotten there in the process yet. So don't you worry, we'll get to all of them. All right. And if there's anything that I missed at the end, then I will obviously relook at certain stuff, right? All of Hero's Generosity is like $6. I don't think it's worth it. We have so much good recursion that I don't think we need a colorless land that can do it for late game. All right, so the last thing I want to look at is auras specifically. So we're going to do that. Format, legal, and commander. There it is. There it is. All right, and I actually am more interested at CMC, not specifically the lowest one, but I like the cheaper ones, or rather, it's only 404 cards. We can go through all of them. Spells the opponent's cast. All right, now I'm more interested in the black ones because I'm not that familiar with black auras as I am the white ones. Angelic Gift, janky, costs 1 mana basically. Costs 1 mana, cantrip, target creature has flying, Killian needs evasion. I think this is pretty decent. I don't know if you would call it card draw, but it's a cantrip, right? It's better than nothing. And it works really well at triggering our SRAMs. It will draw 2 cards off SRAM. It will draw 2 cards off Core Spirit Dancer. It draws 2 cards off, what's the last one? There's one more, is there not? Mesa Enchantress? Yeah. So, there's stuff. Yes. So I like me some angelic gifts. All right. Like I said, chat, we're going through the auras right now, all right? So if you throw a card name, chances are I'm going to see that card name show up soon. But we're at A, and we're going to work our way towards it, all right? We're going to work our way towards it. All right, Animate Dead is something that I would like to add into the deck list, but we'll see how expensive it gets. Arrest is kind of interesting. It's basically pay 1 mana with Killian and target creature is kind of like out. So I do like that. We'll call it targeted removal. but we could get better options as well. Artifact Possession. Artifact Possession deals 2 damage to target artifact controller each time it's activated. Wow, that's a silly card. Artifact Ward. This is some good Pumperino. More Pumperino. Enters the battlefield. Target opponent discards 2 cards. I like that start. Ooh, Battle Master. This is a good one. Double Strike is really good in Voltron strategies. Really, really good. Really, really good. Because we have so many ways of pumping Killian. Right? Target you guys +2/+2. Nope. Nope. Ooh. I like Blessing of Leeches. So we can flash in Blessing of Leeches. This might be one of the best protection spells for Killian. We can flash in Blessing of Leeches for 1 black mana, and we regenerate. And also, at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life, is not that big of a deal because we have life gain going on. This might be one of the best tech options for Killian, right? 1 mana, regenerate anytime you want for Killian. This is actually kind of insane. This means we get around basically all destroy effects. We get got by like Damnation and Wrath of God because they deny regeneration, and we get got by Bounce and Exile and Sacrifice. But we get around a lot of destroy effects. So this is cool. I like Blessing of Leeches a lot. Bonds of Faith gets +2/+2. Can't attack or block. +3, -3. Is -3 enough to kill enough creatures? Is it enough to kill enough creatures? I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like we could do better. I don't know. Maybe we'll just drop Boon of Emrakul and see where we're at. Yes, it is a way to go infinite. How about Feldar Guardian if we are running Animate Dead? Is that... Yeah, that might be good enough. Let's throw in Feldar Guardian as an option. What was I looking at? Boon of Emrakul. I don't know if Boon of Emrakul is good enough, but it is interesting. Can't attack, block, crew victuals, and activated can't be activated unless it's mana available. So it's basically arrest, but like a slightly worse arrest because I think arrest stops mana abilities. Let me double check. Yeah, it does stop mana abilities. So it's a little bit worse, but I mean, it still just costs 1 mana with Killian out, which I like. I do like that. Ooh, this is kind of mean. When enchanting permanent becomes tapped, destroy it. Yes. This is like MLD. Like this is land destruction. I don't know. I think this could be kind of neat. Cage of Hands, can't attack or block. Return to its hand. I like it with the cost reduction because we can return it back to our hand, and then we're basically paying 3 mana to trigger Constellation and a bunch of things. Could be good enough. Rest is only for creatures. Oh, this is enchant permanent. All right, this is cool. This is a little bit better. I mean, attacking blocking is only relevant to creatures, and activate abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. I guess it can stop like Maze of Ith and stuff, right? So that could be pretty decent. These ones are a little bit worse. Chain creature you control, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Not good enough. Casting of Bones. If enchanted creature is put in the graveyard, draw 3 cards. Yes, I like this jank. This is janky card draw that I likey. When a creature dies, draw 3 cards and discard 1? Yeah, sure. Give me some of that, please. For 1 mana? Yeah. What a weird card. Any of the cartouches? The cartouches are bad. Put a -1/-1. It gets +1/+1 and lifelink. Killian already has lifelink. We can do better than these. These are chump change. Can't attack or block. Whatever. Caustic Tar. Nah. Celestial Mantle. When it deals combat damage double, that's a lot of life gain. Why not? Let's just keep throwing in finishers. Why not, chat? We'll just throw in all the finishers and we'll cut them in very shortly. Cutting most of them very shortly. Cessation. Enchanted creature cannot attack when cessation is put into a graveyard from play. Turn into its owner. Blah. Put into the graveyard from play. Destroy target non-black creature. I'm intrigued. Put into the graveyard. All right, you just put it. Okay, I like it. Whatever. This is weird. It's a weird card. It's not good, but I think it's weird, and I like it. So we basically like enchant a creature that we want to kill, right? Then we kill that creature, and then we get to kill another creature. Whatever. I'm down for that. It's convoluted, but I like it. Chosen by Killian. Yes, I like cantrips. It's a bad cantrip, but it does synergize very well in the deck. I like bad cantrips that synergize well in the deck. Enchanting creature gets -4, -1. If it was the other way around, if we got -4 toughness, it would be so much better. This is just cost a lot of mana. Enchanted creature you control. Whenever enchanted creature attacks and isn't blocked, you may have it deal no combat damage. Meh. Enchanted creature only you control. No, not that great. Enchanted creature gets +1, -1. Destroy all. No, it's very funny, but cute. Can't attack or block. No. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and flying and sacrifice two creatures. Wow, that's greedy. That's greedy. That's not a 2021 design. Enchantland is a swamp. I kind of like this. It's kind of cute. Maybe a bit too cute, but I think it's cute. Land denial. Enchant forest or plains. Okay, so it's kind of like contaminated ground. Enchanted creatures banding. That'd be just funny just to add and see people can handle it. Protection from black and red. Nah. +2, -1. Enchanted creature and other creatures that share a creature type fit. Nah. Cruel reality. Nah. That's 7 mana. I mean, it's 5 mana with Killian out, but it's still a lot. And we just kind of want to kill people with Killian. Enchant player, enchanted creatures. Oh, I like Curse of Disturbance. I think this one's kind of cute. Cute, but is also just 1 mana, you know? I'll just throw it into the pile of finishers, because why not? Curse of Exhaustion, I think, is also very good. You just curse the guy who's like the scariest at the table, and then for oh yeah, it's only creatures. I still think these cards are good though. Yeah, so you don't get the cost reduction, but they are still effective cards. 6 mana, draws a card, they lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. Alright. Curse of Misfortune. Nah. I don't think we'll have enough curses that will be worth it, but I'm looking. How much is Dance of the Dead these days? Oof, too much. Darksteel Mutation, how much is that these days? I mean, Darksteel Mutation is very good. And a 1 mana Darksteel Mutation is very, very good. So. Alright. Dead Man's Chest. Enchanted creature and opponent controls. Alright, so it costs 1 mana with this one. Enchanted creature exile the top cards library. May cast non-land cards from among them as long as they remain exiled. Yeah, I mean, why not? It's a goofy card. I don't think it's necessarily the best because we want to cast our spells more than we want to cast our opponent's spells because we have so much synergies with horrors. But it's still fine. It's a cool card. I'll say it's card draw. It's almost like card draw. Need to nah. Demonic Embrace. All right, let's see Demonic Embrace. Chain creature gets +3/+1. It has flying and is a demon. In addition to its other types, you may cast it from your graveyard by paying 3 life and discarding a card in addition. It's fine. Yeah, it's all right. I'll throw it in. Why not? Why not? I think the only downside is we have so many finishers, like so many like generic pumpers that don't really do anything else. That at some point I'm gonna have to start cutting some of them. That's the only downside. Return that card to its owner's hands. That's cute. The motion. I like removing blockers. This is kind of like nice. When it enters the battlefield, I guess this is better. This is like straight better. This is just a rest, right? I'll take Desert's Hold over that. So we're clearly way overboard in terms of, let's say Fracture at this point. I think we can agree. We're way over the number of cards we want. But because we're keeping at least a knowledge of what we want in terms of every category, it's going to be much easier later on to just cut down to our favorite cards for each one. So that's the whole point of like always making sure you know how much of each type of card you want in the deck is, because it's going to make cutting way easier because we know what we need to cut. Demonic Vigor is kind of interesting, but I mean losing all our auras is kind of bad too. But I'll throw it in as another protection option. Well, we'll choose between the protection options what we like the most, and I think we can safely cut Arden from here at this point. I don't think there's a lot of value from moving around auras here. Nope. Can't attack or block. Exile it. Chain creature put in graveyard play. Target player discards 2 cards. Chain creature dies. You gain life. Edge of Divinity. It's just target creature gets +3/+3. It's 1 mana +3/+3, but again, like we can see how many finishes we already have here. Like, is it better than Ethereal Armor? Probably not. A land Umbra. I like Umbra as a protection. That's cool. That is cool. Eldrazi Conscription is probably the best we can drop. It's probably worth $10 to be honest. Imperial Armor is really good, but I don't think we need it here. Target creature gets 2. You control enchanted creature. I like this. I like just stealing stuff. This is just straight up control magic in Orzhov, which is not the worst. Lifelink. Ethereal Armor we already have. Swamp. Faith's Fetters is good. Yep. Faith's Fetters is a good one. Oh yeah, I don't close tabs. I just add more to the pile. That's the way to do it. Wait, no, that's not. It's not a finisher. It's a removal. We have so much target removal. Faith Unbroken. Yeah. Let's do some more removal. Yeah. Onto the pile. Fallen Ideal. Nah. Feral's Mantle. Attacks and doesn't block its children have a deal power. Huh. When it's faced up, wow, morph removal. That's funny. Feldar Umbra is good, but it's also like worth a couple bucks. I don't know. We already have lifelink on the big thing. We don't really need to move our stuff around that much. Flicking Ward's good. It's kind of expensive though, but it is good versatile protection. And it triggers Constellation a lot. Creature gets -1, -1. When an enchanted creature leaves play, its controller sacrifices a creature. It's cute. So none of this is particularly interesting. Gift of Doom. Creature has Death Touch and Indestructible. This is kind of cool. Gift of Doom. Death Touch and Indestructible. I don't really care about the Death Touch part, but Indestructible is nice. Gift of Immortality is good. We lose all the auras on the creature. On Killian, rather. But, kind of cool. Alright, maybe the tabs are getting a little bit ridiculous. Alright, this is going to be a little bit of a purge. A little bit of a purge. Gift of Zorva. Glistening Oil. How much is Glistening Oil? It might be worth it. -1, -1. Nah. It's good. It's good for the one-shot, I guess. It's good for the one-shot as a finisher. But, I mean, we have so many finisher cards. I don't know. I don't think we need it. Yeah, no Phyresis is better. It's coming up. Helia's punishment's great. I like me some punishment. All right. Protection from creatures for 2 mana. More protection. We're gonna have so many cuts, chat. But I'm getting pretty pretty exhaustive here. Indestructible. That is what I'm looking for. All right. That one's a good one. Indestructible Killian's good. Indomitable Will. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. I like Inevitable End. I like that card. Yep. Yes, sir. When this creature dies, draw a card. Yeah, I don't really like Inner Demon. I think I'm going to kill too many of our own creatures. Oh yeah, Kai's Ghost Form is fantastic in terms of protection. Can't really beat that. It survives exiling and creatures. It's kind of silly good. Kind of a really good card. Lash Knife. Light of Promise. Whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. It does grow him very quickly, doesn't it? Yeah, we can throw it in a pile. Again, it's like... This is how many finishers we have, though. It's a bit obnoxious, but I think this is one of the better ones, because he grows so fast. Mind Whip. Target controller's upkeep. They pay 3 or deals 2 damage. That's cute. Minions are turn I like. I like just yoinking creatures for 1 mana. It seems good. Seems pretty decent. I guess it's not removal, but it's cool. Myers Grasp. So there's another way to just give something -3. I don't know if it's good enough, but I'll just throw it into the pile, because why not? Yeah, people really like finishers. People really like finishers, but we're gonna have to make some cuts soon enough. Mogus's Favor, not good enough. I like the ability. It's just not good enough. Ooh, now here's Binding. It's a little bit worse for Killian, but it's still cool. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature to target creature one of your opponent's controls. If you have protection from black, then they can't target your stuff. But if you don't, then it feels bad. Oh wow, Nettlevine Blight seems kind of mean. It costs 6 mana. It can be cast for 4 mana though, so it's kind of funny. Oh, that's a funny card. You might be right, Crispy Balls. Gosh, I said it again. No. You're right though. You're right. Every time. Gets me every time. 1,000 lashes. Enchant creature. Can't attack or block, and it can't be activated, and you lose some life? That's one of the best ones. That's like the best arrest. Well, it costs 1 extra mana, but I mean, it's cute. This is legendary, +1/+1, flying, vigilance, lifelink. It's good, but not good enough, I think. You get counters on it. Discard Overwhelming Splendor as enchant player. It's 8 mana, which is going to be very tough for us in this deck. If it was enchant creature and we could get that effect, then it would be better. Parasitic Bond during the upkeep of enchanted creature. I like the Impetus. Maybe some Impetus. I like Impetus because it kind of like forces our opponents to attack, so they don't have blockers, and they're attacking an opponent, which I think is cool. So maybe we'll throw in Martial Impetus too, because that's the white one that I skipped over. Parasitic Implant, upkeep, and just sacrifice it. No. I mean, it's still 2 mana to sacrifice a creature, but it's kind of cute. Enchanted creature instead. Nope. Pentarch Ward. Ooh, Pheresis. Man. Can't attack or block. Enchanted creature says you lose 1 life. Maybe Pentarch Ward. Maybe. Pariah is a great removal. How is Pariah? You can put it on not creatures you control? That's to you. Huh. That's cute. It does require us being attacked, though. But, I don't know. I'll just throw in another finisher. We don't have enough finishers, I think is the main problem here. Same with blood tap all lands. Nope. Reprobation's good. Man, we have so many ways to deal with creatures. Kind of nutty. Kind of nutty how many ways we can enchant creatures in this deck. Or a rune. Rune, lifelink. I don't think we need either of these effects. All right, we're almost done. We're at the home stretch. Put on the graveyard. Put whenever any creature is put into any graveyard from play, that can grow pretty fast, but I think we have better options already. Ooh, Scavenge Weaponry is kind of decent. Scourge Mark is kind of decent. I like these things that just like draw us a card. I do like cantrips. I like my cantrips a lot. It's not like, well, I'm not going to put it there. I won't even call this a finisher. This is like miscellaneous. Scourge Mark. It doesn't look good. I'll be honest with you. Scourge Mark and these stuff don't look good, but. What's Rhyme Transfusion? Did I miss something decent? No. No. Seizures. Never heard of this card. Whenever tapped. Okay, cool. Sentinel's Eyes. Look at you for special eyes. It's cool. I guess I did skip over the runes and not the other cantrips. But like these effects are redundant, right? They don't even give us a +1/+0. So that's bad. Did you already put Sage's Reverie? Yes. Ooh, yes. Shielded by Faith, yes. Very good, yes. I like Indestructible, yes. Protection from Greeted Blue. I like Shielded due to reason. I mean, we don't play either of those colors, so we can just straight up have protection from them. That seems nice. No bounces for you, my friends. This I just like the artwork on. I wish I could run it just for the artwork. But alas, it's a bad card. Skeletal Grimace. +1/+1 and regenerate. Defender and loses flying. Cannot be blocked except by artifact creatures and black creatures. Returns its hand. Poisonous 3. Beginning upkeep. Nope. Ooh. Soul channeling is it's getting to me. It's tempting. Tempting over here. That's some neat protection. Oh man, this is gonna be so many cards. What is this artwork even? Soul Kiss. What the heck? What the heck is going on? See, how's he kissing the soul? Looks like he's like removing it. I don't know. Pay 1 life. +2/+2. No more than 3 times each turn. So this is like essentially target creature gets +6/+6 for 1. Oh, well, you have to pay. You have to play the mana for it though. Soul Link. You gain that much life. Okay. Has Vigilance, Soul Tithe. I like Soul Tithe actually. I've used this a good effect. It is not bad. Oh, I don't know why Winds of Wrath is in here, but let's throw it in there too, because we're gonna add Winds of Wrath, obviously. There is so much removal in this deck. We done with Skybind, Astral-Bind? Yeah, we're skipping that. Spirit Mantle. Where's the cantrip one? There's like a cantrip protection from creatures. I haven't seen it yet. Changing creatures dealt damage. All right. Bup. Changing creatures artifact. Nope. +1/+1. Nope. Protection from white. Nope. Sunbond. Whenever you gain life, put that many. So this is just a bad version of the other one, right? I think it's just a bad version of the other one. Well, we'll throw it on the pile of finishers. Can't have enough finishers. Non-land permanent. Can't attack or block. Activated abilities can't be activated. Yes. This is a jank I like. This is a jank I like. Target removal. We'll throw it onto the pile. Oh, that's why I haven't seen it yet. Sunclasp. Ugh. Sultai. Tainted Well. Draw a card and chain it into the swamp. Nope. Timely Ward. Yes. Yes, Timely Ward. Yes. Pay 1 mana, indestructible. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Trapped in the tower. Can't attack or block. Activated abilities can't be activated. What is this? Can only be played on target lane you control. Sacrifice a Thrall? What? If there are no time counters on it? No time counters on it. What the heck? This is a weird card. Trapped in the Tower is pretty good too. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, put a plague counter on Traveling Plague. Chaining creature gets -1/-1. That one just draw up turns. Oh, so this can just blow up the entire board. But that's kind of funny. All right, we have a silly amount of cards, but we're almost done. We're almost done. Underworld Connections. Yes. I like card draw. Treacherous Link. Redirect to its controller all damage dealt to... Nah. Underworld Connections, though, is card draw. We need more of that. Boop. Return that card to the battlefield. So this is just a bad minions return because not at flash speed. When it dies, return to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Unquestioned authority we want then for sure. Are we going to learn a lesson on how to cut cards responsibly? I'll show you. I will show you the budget commander method of how to quickly and efficiently cut down cards after we get to it. Because you can see we're like at like 300 cards or so. Something kind of silly. Unquestioned authority is like absolutely slam dunk going in, by the way. Let's throw it in there. And Untamed, blah, blah, blah. Vampirism. That's funny. Weight of the World. Base power 0. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Unnatural Hunger. What is this? At the beginning of the upkeep of enchanted creature's controller, deals to that player damage equal to... Nah. Okay, there's a lot of cards here, so let's find out how many cards we need to cut, shall we? Let's first close all these crazy tabs. How many cards do you think we have, chat? If you want to throw a guess, if you're interested. How many cards do you think we have here in this pile? In this pile of cards. 210, 160, 150, 206, 342, 7, 154, 250. All right. I think 250 is a good number. I'm gonna say 250. All right, let's see. Whew. 193. Oh, it's not that bad actually. Minus 37 because we have our tabs. All right, So we have a bunch of cards, right? First thing we want to do is we're going to find every card that is expensive. Or we're just going to snip it out. Because why? We're doing a budget deck. So I'm just going to start from the most expensive. Eldrazi Conscription, you're out. You're out, Eldrazi Conscription. It's a very good card. But we have no way of really cheating it out other than paying 6 mana. Actually, Starfield and Nyx will get the first cut. I actually do like Eldrazi Conscription a lot, but Starfield and Nyx I do not like as much because we have so much really good recursion that it's not needed. It's not needed. Next up is like Retether. Retether is really good. Idyllic Tutor is very good, but well, I guess we don't need to cut too much. It's 192 cards, right? I guess we'll just cut the jank first. The Alseid, I don't think the Alseid's like it's good, but it's not great. The Hero of Iroh is kind of weird. Let's see how much ramp we have. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're pretty low on ramp, actually. It's not the greatest ramp, but Killian is so good, and we didn't add Killian to the thing. So I'm gonna say we have job well done on the ramp part. I think we hit it. 36 lands. We do have 36 lands. We nailed it. Right? We have 36 lands. We nailed it. All right, card draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're a little bit low on the card draw, but we do have a lot of cantrips. So I think this is fine too. I think 9 hard card draw-ish cards plus our cantrippy cards is probably going to be good enough. I think so. I'm going to say this is mission accomplished too. Target removal. We have a bit too much. We have too much. Target removal. We're going to find the bad ones, and we're just going to snip them away. And I think I stuck almost entirely to aura related ramp or removal. So I like this. Oh, Sigarda's Aid. We could cut Sigarda's Aid. It's a little bit expensive. Yeah. There we go. All the glitters. Made then. No blessing. Chime Night is pretty bad, but I kind of want to hold on to it because it's very cute. Myra's Grass. I'm going to play with a fade counter on it. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you remove it. If you can't... Oh, it takes 2 turns. Fade work takes 2 turns, right? I have to wait 2 turns before the Dementia kicks in, right? Because you can remove the first one on your next upkeep. And then it's not gone yet. If you can't, you sacrifice. Oh, Dementia's bad. Yeah, that's not good. That's pretty bad. Parallax Dementia is bad if you're not playing the combo. Yeah, it doesn't seem good. Phoresis seems good. Reprobation seems pretty good. Myra's Grasp is too weak. Let's take out Myra's Grasp. Boon of Emrakul is definitely also too weak, right? Yeah, -3. Same problem with Myra's Grasp, unfortunately. Yeah, the Vigor's a little bit weak. We'd rather Killian not leave the battlefield, ideally. Edge of the Divinity is still +3/+3. It's fine. I think Hyena Umber is just better in general. I like Kaya's Ghost form though a lot because it also gets around blink or exile effects. I like these. The cantrips are kind of meh, I'll admit, but we do need a lot of card draw. This is the problem. I guess Arrest is just better than Trapped in the Tower, right? So We'll take out Trapped in the Tower. We'll take out the Impetuses because, I mean, they're good, but they're not insane. Actually, we could probably get rid of the Enslave. Yeah. Bound and Gold, Desert's Hold, Heliod's Punishment. I like Heliod's Punishment. What was Suppression Bonds again? Chain all on permit. Guess we'll take out the bonds. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oof. Oof. What was Nettlevine Blight again? Was this a hard one? Beginning of your turn. At the end of your turn, sacrifice is permanent. That's so brutal. But I think it's going to be tough to get value out of because we put it on a creature, for example, right? We have to put it on a land for it to be really good. What's Apostle's Blessing? We'll look it up. We have too many cards already. Let's add another card. No. It's also not free. Oh, it is free, actually. I think Nettle's a bit too slow. We're just going to get rid of it. We're not playing for a long game. The stuff that costs 2 colors is weaker. So 1,000 Lashes is weaker. I think Celestial Mantle, just not really. Not really what we need. Text from all colors. That touch is indestructible. Sunbond's gone. Sage's Reverie I like. Indestructibility I like. Is Gift of Doom the same? No, it costs 1 more. So I think Gift is gone. Gift of Doom is gone. We'll just cut out the redundancy that isn't as strong as the other options. So I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this okay. It's fine. Like this. Like this. Holy Mantle is not as good as the other one. So we'll get rid of that. Faith's Fetters I like a lot. Faith Unbroken is good. Curse of Exhaustion I think is still very powerful. When it becomes tapped, destroy it. Brink of Disaster is like, it doesn't work if it's creatures, unfortunately. Or when it's a land, you don't get the discount. So we're going to cut that out too. Unquestioned Authority I like. Unholy Indenture I don't like as much as Minions Murmur. So we'll get rid of that. Underworld Connections I like. Timely Ward I like. I like it more than the Indestructibility too, so that's something we can consider. Soul Channeling is also very good. Soul Channeling is actually very good. I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's not as good as Indestructibility though. Maybe we just cut Soul Channeling then. No boots for protection. We don't need boots. Draw a card, +1/+1. Draw a card, protection. We'll get rid of Soul Channeling. Shielded by Faith, I like these. Impetus, Minions Return, I like. Impetus. Light's Promise is also good. I like Inevitable End. Gift of Immortality is a little bit harder sell. Because again, we have that issue of we lose all of our auras when that happens. Shield by Faith is double white. Yeah, that's true. It's not as good. So we'll get rid of Shield by Faith. Scavenge Weaponry. Face of Divinity. +2/+2. First Strike and Lifelink. I just don't think it's good enough, actually. Of Divinity. I think we have bigger Pumperinos. So we'll cut that too. Desert's Hold, I think is good. Demonic Embrace, +3/+1, and you can get it back. But we don't actually like if we're losing like that card, I don't think it's that great. I think we're gonna get rid of Demonic Embrace. Shield is far better than Indestructibility. I mean, they're both 2 mana. Curse of Disturbance is a bit too cute. We'll get rid of that. It also only affects creatures, so. Cage of Hands is good. These are all same thing. Aura of Silence is the only thing that like. Can't attack or block. I like Soul Tithe. I think it's cute, but it's also nice. I guess this is weaker than the other options. Because these, I mean, this one stops like death triggers and whatnot. Yeah. The rest of these are better, I think. Maybe the cantrips are a little bit too cute, but I really think this deck needs card draw. I made this kind of way here. It is a little bit weird. Maybe I made that. I just want to make some cuts. I think it's usually good. Flickering Ward, I think we can get rid of Flickering Ward. It's actually really good with other things. Position blue. How much removal or protection are we down to? That's a good question. Oh, no. Oh, it might have... I think it jumbled... Did it jumble all my stuff? Or did I save it? Kind of jumbled my stuff. I think. No. This is fine. All right. Target removal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, we have a little bit too much. Wait. Timely Word's not removal. We'll throw that back down here. All right. Aura of Silence we're keeping. Moral Obstinacy we're keeping. Seal of Cleansing we're keeping. Arrest, Bound Gold, Cage of Hands, Chime of Night is gone. Darksteel Mutation still in. Desert's Hold is still in. Enslave is cute. Face Feathers is cute. Faith Unbroken is a Pumperino. Helid's Punishment. Inevitable End. What's Inevitable End? Oh, I like that one. Martial Impetus. Martial Parasitic Impetus. Reprobation. Okay, how about we get rid of... Go down Darksteel as it hoses us. I mean, it targets our opponents, right? Hoses us, like, I mean, they have a 0-1 blocker, but we're going to have ways to get around whatever creature they have. What's the best? Arrest is the same as Bound in Gold, pretty much, which is the same as kind of Cage of Hands, which is the same as Desert's Hold. So maybe we just don't need 3 of those. So we'll get rid of Arrest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Ugh. All right. Yeah, this still gets hard. Let's get rid of... I think we'll keep Darksteel Mutation. We'll keep these other ones. We'll keep the more flexible ones. So Cage of Hands are gone. We'll get rid of Desert's Hold. We'll get rid of Bound in Gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll move on to a different subject. We want 2 board wipes, and we have 2 board wipes, so that's good. Job well done there. They're only creature ones, though, so we might want, like, you know, like an Austere Command or something there. I think Austere Command's still probably the most flexible. And we're just going to throw it in there. Graveyard Recursion, we have too much. So we're going to get rid of the Nomad Mythmaker. Retether's the best. Dawn Evangel is going to be kind of interesting. Rise to Glory is also very good. Spectral Steel is good. Crystal Chimes is good. Open the Vaults is good. I mean, we have a lot, but I'll move on. Or Touch Mage and Boonweaver Giant. I don't think we figured out any infinite combos with them, really. I guess it's like Animate Dead, Boonweaver Giant, and then like, I don't know. Something beyond that. I don't know. I'm just getting rid of it. Plea for Guidance is also too slow. We'll get rid of that. And I think this is a nice little 4 tutors. This is good. Graveyard Hates. We got Agent of Erebos. I'm happy with that. And Bajuka Bog. And then we'll talk about the finishers. The finishers are Ajani's Chosen, Daybreak Coronet, Eidolon of Countless Battles. I think we can get rid of the Daybreak Coronet. +3/+3, First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink. It is a nice... I like having the block. Vigilance for blocking. Mass Calcify? I don't think so. Everstrike? What was Everstrike again? I guess +2/+2 for each aura attached to it. Except we don't really want auras attached to it. But we can pay X and return it. And you can put a thing from your hand into play attached to it if you don't. I think it's a little too cute. Let's get rid of that. Heavenly Blade Master. I don't think we even need the Blade Master, to be honest. Did I miss the budget cut tips? Yeah, I just cut basically everything that was too expensive. Like the highest money-wise, I just cut. I don't think we need Everstrike as an alternate body. I think like our token makers are just so good that like I don't think we need those. I don't think we need the other stuff. Let's update that. Grim Guardian is also like gone because I don't think we really need it. Battlemaster is good. Curse of Exhaustion is good. Farissa is good. I think we still have too many finishers. So we'll get rid of the Heavenly Blade Master, actually. I don't think it gets from the graveyard, right? Imitach, yeah, it doesn't get from the graveyard. It's a little bit weaker. Why is Feldar Guardian in the deck? It was in the deck at some point for figuring out if we want to keep that effect or not. But it's not that great. I'll take it out. I think the rest of these kind of make sense. Still 138? No, well, I mean, 110. Dawn Evangel. I think it's cute. Or was attached to it. CMC 2 or less. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, I wish I had a deck that ran Dawn Evangel, but it is a little bit too cute. That's a shame. Curse of Exhaustion is bad. I think it's very powerful. Bit pricey for the budget. I mean, we're getting very close to the $100 mark. Unless people want me to go lower than $100. But I think we're naturally going to get there. Ilseid of Life's Bounty is bad. I mean, yeah, I mean, you're probably right. It's not bad, but it's not as good as the other options we have here. Any MDFCs in here? We could add like Malakir Rebirth and stuff in a bit. Why would Daxos the Return not be a better commander? People have chosen. I made the option of Daxos the Return or Killian. People want Killian. That's the thing. I don't think Killian's bad, by the way. But we have similar effects to Curse of Exhaustion. I don't think we have anything. I don't think we have anything that Land Ombra doesn't do enough. I mean, it's protection. It's like instead of him dying, we get the thingy. All right, I think I'm gonna get rid of Daybreak Coronet. Yeah, the 17 others are not real cards. And I think we've actually gone through Graveyard Hate. We're good. Tutors were good. Graveyard Recursion were definitely good. Board Wipes are good. And target removal, we have more than enough. So I think we can get rid of all the like miscellaneous finishers. We have achieved everything we wanted that way. All right, so this is just 18 cards. Just 18 cards. Timely Ward I like. All right, I'm just going to go a little bit more hard on Daxos worth it if you don't really use experience. I mean, he still makes tokens, but I guess you can be right on that. Daxos, the Returned. He gets a little bit less powerful when he's not in the command zone. What's your rough guidelines for target removal, mass removal? Here, I do 37 lands usually, 13 ramps usually, but less ramp because we have a cheap ramp in our command zone. 10 card draw usually, so we have less than I'd like, but we have a lot of like these aura cantrips to kind of help. 8 targeted removal, we have more than enough. 3 board wipes, we do. Graveyard Recursion, we have a little bit more than usual. Flexible tutors, we have more than usual. Graveyard Hate, we have a little bit more than usual. And finishers is where we have like a ton. So we're cutting down on the finisher aspect, and I think like Edge of Divinity is one of the ones that is unfortunately going to get the cut here. Flicking Ward's still interesting to me. Dead Man's Chest. Flicker Form. Reverbation. Man. This gets hard. Whenever you gain life, you may put that many +1/+1 counters on creature. That makes him so big so fast. I like that a lot. Curse of Exhaustion. Alright, just for the sake of speeding it up, Curse of Exhaustion is gone. I think it's still very powerful, but you do have to pay max for it. Maybe remove Light of Promise's bad version. It's already gone. We got rid of, like, I think Spectre Ward, maybe? Yeah, we'll get rid of Spectre Ward. Light of Promise doesn't have any triggers. I mean, it's mostly Killian. Killian has lifeline. Commander is a trigger, yeah. Blessing of Leeches, I think, is fantastic. You can cast it for flash for 1 mana, and then you can regenerate constantly. I know you have plenty of target removal, but murderous right now. No. That's 1 trigger per turn. It's incredibly slow. It's a bit slow. I guess, like, if we're running Eldrazi Conscription, it's significantly worse. Do we have enough removal to take advantage of Dead Man's Chest? Probably not. Yeah, Dead Man's Chest is probably gone. I think stealing our opponent's stuff is a lot worse than getting our own cards, unfortunately. Because we're so synergy heavy, unfortunately. Killian's punishment is bad? I heavily disagree that Killian's punishment is bad. Vehemently disagree. How many cards? We need 130. We need 13 more cuts. Uh-oh. You know what? I'm probably just gonna cut the Hero of Iroas and the Starfield Mist, or I'm gonna cut the Transcendent Envoy, Danitha, and Hero of Iroas. Because they're just not going to... We're not going to get any value out of them when Killian's on the battlefield. So, I think those are pretty simple cuts. I think Starfield Mystic has the best opportunity of staying because at least he does work with non-auras, right? So, I think that's fine. Umbra Mystic is pretty good too. I think we can safely take Orzhov Charm out of here, too. Jennifer works with or without Killian. Your ramp is very low now. Yeah, I think I'm going to replace them with... First is kind of average, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't like Underworld Coinsmith. Is there an Umbra that gives Vigilance? Because I guess Vigilance would be a lot better. Orzhov Charm is board wipe protection for your auras. Oh yeah, it does stop us from losing all that stuff. But I mean, is it better than like Karamesh's Blessing though? I think just giving Indestructible and Hexproof is better than Orzhov Charm. Mammoth Umbra. Mammoth Umbra is too expensive, though. Casting the Bones is pretty jank. Aura of Solids, Soul Tithe, Appropriation, Phyresis. Is Mammoth Umbra good, though? That's the question. No, it's not very good. Yeah, Orzhov Charm does stop exile removal, but I need to make some cuts. And we did go down in a ramp, but I think it's also fine. Because they were only ramping auras, and I think Killian is going to just do better. I like Aeolana Blossoms, actually. Or Aeolana Battle. Because it is kind of like another ethereal armor. Alright, we're very close to done. I think for the sake of expediency. So this is Flash. I like that. I like this. I like that. Kind of Agent of Erebos? No, sir. Seal of Cleansing I like. Non-light permanent I like. Or of Silence I like. Battle Mastery I like. Casting of Bones is pretty jank. It's pretty jank, but I just think it's so cute. Just cut the bad cards, obviously. Bad cards are so fun, though. That's the problem. I guess we have to cut the inevitable end. And we just stick to, like, the martial impetuses and such. Yeah, we could cut the Land Umbra. Alright, let's cut the Land Umbra. Let's cut the... I like all of these. Just double checking. Scavenge weaponry. Yeah. It's card draw, though. Kind of. I think the impetuses are not great. I think they're better than they look. They are a little bit more, shall we say, specific. Add things? We're not adding things. Draw one card, do nothing for 3 mana. Well, it's only 1 mana, right? It's only 1 mana with, what's his face? Killian. We're definitely not adding any cards, chat. I'm sorry. This must end. This shall be complete. Spectral Steel is probably not good enough in comparison to the other things that we have. You know what we could do? We could just get rid of, like, the expensive stuff. We could just get rid of the expensive stuff. And then that would cut down all the... make all the hard cuts much easier. Isn't that fun? That could be fun. I think that is the play. Angelic Destiny. Why didn't you use Angelic Destiny? It's +4/+4, flying, and first strike. For 2 mana. It's good, but I mean, it's just not as good as, like, Ethereal Armor. I don't know, it's not bad. But is it as good as, like, Helm of the Gods, Ethereal Armor, Eidolon, and Countless Bladders? I don't think so. You can use both, but I need cuts. How do you brew Daxos Control? I would focus less on the Voltron-y cards. Where's Hateful Eidolon? Right there. All right. Maybe we'll go for $150. Yes. That's the easiest way. All right, let's cut this. Let's cut Sphere of Safety. We're just going to make things very simple. We're going to go for $50. Easy. That's how we make our cuts. we just lower the price of the entire deck, and then it just does the cuts for us. Chat, this is the way. Darksteel Mutation. Well, let's cut that too. Boom. 5 cards remaining. Easy. Aura of Silence. You're gone. Look. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, all right? Sometimes you gotta figure out a cheat, and you just go for it. Flickering Ward. Gone. Idyllic Tutor. Definitely gone. Easy. Chat, this is it. Whoa, $62 now. Oof, easy. Umbra Mystic, very powerful, but you know what? Also gone. Retether? We're not cutting Retether. No, Retether is our best. Retether is the best. Every time I cast Retether, I'm very happy. Not Umbra Mystic. Yes. I guess Umbra Mystic's very good too. We'll throw in Umbra Mystic again. We can't get rid of Retether though. That's banned. Cannot do that. Yay, verily. Spectral Steel is kind of meh. Maybe casting a bones is kind of meh. Yeah, you know what? Casting the bones is kind of gone. You need to reach $50. I don't think we're gonna get $50. I think we're gonna be pretty good here. We'll cut Spectral Steel. I think that's fine. Because we have just more impressive versions of stuff here. This seems good. $62. This seems pretty nice. Indestructibility before Spectral Steel. Why? I like indestructibility. Pretty low power. I don't know why you don't like indestructible. It's 2 mana. 2 mana to make Killian indestructible. It's very dependent on draw. I mean, like, Timely War is the same thing. So we have space for changing cards for more powerful ones. I mean, we could. Why no Cauldra? Because it's not a Cauldra deck. It's not a Cauldra deck. This seems good. Oh no. This seems alright to me. I like these things. Swap a land for Hall of Heliod's Generosity. How much is Hall of Heliod's Generosity? If it's like more than I think it is, yeah, it's $6. I don't think it's worth it. I don't even think the Bright Climb Pathway is really worth it, to be honest. It's just a 2-color deck. I'm just gonna get rid of the Bright Climb. Boop. Oubliette. I think the only thing I would want to do here in terms of like change stuff up is I would put in Eldrazi Conscription back in, and I would also put in Idyllic Tutor And that would basically be the deck. That's pretty much the deck. We could also replace Seal of Cleansing with Aura of Silence. And then we're pretty much done. Ash's Favor. Flying First Strike and Vigilance. Do not like. Sorry. It's alright. Flying First Strike Vigilance. I guess it's probably like better than... I guess it's probably better than some of the worst ones, like Chosen by Heliod. Okay, so we'll go Eldrazi Conscription. We'll go what was it, Aura of Silence? We'll go, instead of one of like the jankier Scourge Mark or whatever, or Scavenge Weaponry. We'll replace this with Idyllic Tutor, and let's I guess Chosen by Heliod's pretty bad. Let's throw in Ash's Favor, and that's it. But even then, I think you're selling Heliod's punishment very short. It takes them like it takes them like 4 to 3 turn cycles to get rid of the punishment. Whoa. Voice. Yeah, it takes a really long time. No, I think you guys are really, really underselling Heliod's punishment. I don't know if you've seen this in a game, but it's actually really good. Isn't Arrest just better? No, it removes all of its abilities. So Arrest can stop most of what a creature does, but it doesn't stop all of what a creature does. Like if a creature has a powerful death creature, or like let's say you arrest Archon of Sun's Grace, right? It can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't trigger. However, it still has a Constellation ability that's very powerful. You put Heliod's punishment on it, for the next 3 to 4 turns, that Archon is not having any Constellation triggers. And 3 to 4 turns is an eternity in Commander. I think you guys just haven't seen Heliod's punishment in a game. I think you should try it out. Isn't Oubliette better? I don't think it's an aura. No, Tomer, you cut a card that did the same thing for Heliod's punishment that has an escape clause. What was that? What's the escape clause one? I don't think there's any escape Heliod's punishment. Oubliette. It's an enchantment, not an aura. Sentinel's Eyes. Yeah, sure, but that doesn't do Heliod's punishment thing. What is the Heliod's punishment that has escape? I don't think there's anything that has escape that is like Heliod's punishment. You could play Reprobation instead. Reprobation's in the deck. And there's nothing that has escape that does that. So, I think we're good. All right. I think I'm pretty happy with this deck. Yeah, I think if anybody thinks Heliod's punishment is bad, they need to try it out in Commander. It's very good. It's very good. Because it stops like Constellation triggers, it stops a whole bunch of stuff that like Arrest just does not. So highly recommend it. MDFC lands. I mean, we could We could add more tap lands. We could add like LAKEY Rebirth or something. But we don't really need it. I'm getting kind of lazy. So I feel like we're pretty good here. I don't even think we need like Eldrazi Conscription, but I think it's really solid. Regardless. We lost Enslave, but no, they are saying that Heliod's punishment can be gotten out of, whereas there are other auras you cut that they have to destroy, not just let run out. I don't... Are you saying I cut cards that were better than Heliod's punishment? I don't understand. Eldrazi is really high on the mana curve compared to the rest of the deck. Yeah, but it costs... It's pay 6, put it to Killian, and Killian smacks stuff for a lot. I don't know. It probably is a little bit too expensive, but, you know, whatever. 2 swamps for Haggard Mauling and LAKEY Rebirth. That's more tap lands, though. I don't think we want a lot of tap lands. I don't think we need Haggard Maulings, to be honest. LAKEY Rebirth's good. But we're also like protection dot deck, so I don't know. Just wondering how much double strike in the deck. I think it's just battle mastery. I mean, we could just cut conscription to lower the deck's price, but I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I took it out for. I think it was Enslave. But yeah, Bat Armored Ascension. I don't know. I think this deck is pretty solid. I think I give it my seal of approval. I think we're pretty good here. Boop boop boop. I think it's got a lot of potential. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna click yes. I feel like Tomer talking about Heliod's punishment is like him pushing the greatness of Daxos. I think you all really like Daxos is a meme. I'll give you that. I think I'm no memes, or as the kids say, no cap. Heliod's punishment's a very good removal spell, and if you think it's bad, you need to try it because it's actually very good. Is Heliod's punishment meant to stop death trigger? It does stop death triggers, yes. It's a very good card, and if you think it's bad, you should try it. It's very good. Bonds of Faith for a double purpose card, either a buff or pacifism. Bonds of Faith is not. It's like this is just a bad arrest. Can't attack or block, but it can still activate its abilities. It still gets death triggers. It still gets any triggered ability. Heliod is good if we didn't have the cost. It's still good without the cost reduction, guys. It's just a good card. It's better than Bond of Faith. It's better than Arrest. It's just a better card. Even if I have to pay an extra mana for Heliod's punishment over Arrest, I will still pay an extra mana for Heliod's punishment. It's a very good card. It's very good. It's much better than Arrest. Even if you have to pay 1 extra mana for it or whatever, which you don't. It costs the exact same. Arrest is fine, but Heliod's punishment is better. I don't know how to convince you anymore, but it stops triggered abilities in its tracks, and it stops activated abilities. And like Arrest stops activated abilities, doesn't stop triggered abilities, and that's the main difference. And it lasts 3 to 4 turns. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it anymore. There it is. How much evasion do you have? Oh, we have a bunch. We have like protection spells that get around like green and blue. I put in Ash's Gift, but I mean it's fine. Ash's Favor or whatever. Yeah. There's enough stuff. Hatred would be a funny way, but it's out of budget, yeah. we had the Kaldheim version of Arrest, but I took it out. What if your punishment from healer was explain to chat why healer punished him again? I was just saying, just try it. Just give it a shot. This is very good. I don't know. All right, chat. I kind of feel like cutting Eldrazi's conscription because it would save $12 from the deck, and we don't really need it, but it is cool. And we don't really need Umbra Mystic. We could just like throw in 2 more Umbras, right? Like we don't need Umbra Mystic either. We could just throw in Umbras. But I think that's fine. I think it's fine. No Arcane Signet? I think Arcane Signet would be good. I think it would be good here. Have you looked at Nomad Mythmaker? Yes, I cut it. We had to cut down to 100 cards. And these were the hundreds that we left it to. I still think Killian plus Lurrus is the best Auras list. Really? But then you can't cast three mana value enchantments. You'd basically be stuck from Soul Tithe onward. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's worth it. What is the new budget goal? I don't know. We had like 100 and we beat it by a lot. So that that was initial thing. Yeah. All right, chat. We're not adding more cards. I could have replaced some cards or something. I don't know. If there's any more Umbras that are worth it. Like we could take out Umbra Mystic and then just have, save a little bit of money that way. We could replace it for Umbral Juke. What's this? That's cool. We like replace it with a land Umbra, and it's like a one-shot Umbra Mystic, and that's pretty fun. But that's it. I think that's it, chat. I think we're good. I'm done tinkering. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed this. Oh, what? Creature must be a legendary creature. What? That's awkward. I'm sure it will be coded eventually. This is still preview season after all. So anyway, we finished the deck. It's 100 cards. Killian is just a little bit awkward right now because I don't think it's tagged as legendary. We wanted to get 100. We wanted to make it $100. We went under it, and I think we can keep going under it too pretty easily. We could just drop Eldrazi Conscription, Idyllic Tutor, and like Umbra Mystic. Throw in some more Umbras. Throw in like an Arrest or whatever. Whatever, I don't know. And then we'd be pretty solid or on our way to $50 as well if you wanna do that sort of thing. But anyway, that's it for the stream, everybody. We're going on like towards the 4-hour mark, so I'm gonna call it here. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'm going to throw this deck list in the stream description. And I'm going to update the stream and everything with that as well. I'm going to throw it over here as well. And I hope you enjoyed. This is a cool little brew. And when Strixhaven comes out, is released on Magic Online, I'm going to give this one a shot and see how it goes. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed. And until next time, friends. See ya. Hey, thanks Otter Cataclysm for the $5. I'm glad you liked the deck. All right, now I'm out. Bye.